It is a new day, a new month, and a new chapter for the fifth day of Predator League's Philippine local qualifiers. My name is Ramon, and this is Mochi. Right on my corner, we will be your casters for the whole afternoon of this qualifier alone. And Mochi, it has been an exciting day. We have been looking forward to this since this is the online qualifiers right now.
Yes, definitely. This is going to be our first day for our online qualifiers. And just for a quick recap from our previous qualifiers na ginawa at face-to-face, well, we have really powerful teams, starting off with Virtual Ground Esports and Agtang Bangot Singot during our first two F2F qualifiers, and Cebu and Digos. Well, nakita naman natin that both of these teams are very powerful and very persuasive in terms of their standings during that time. Napaka one-sided, and it leveled up further nung nagkaroon tayo ng magandang laban where Action PH has been able to dominate the rest of the Pampanga qualifiers, which is our third face-to-face one. And this time, dito natin nakikita na all these players are already shifting the balance, no? Like, they're trying their hard or their best para mapakita nila na hindi talaga sila, they're not gonna go down without a fight. And then it has been marked off really, really well by Zol Esports in our Dasmariñas na bracket, wherein we have seen na Zol Esports napakatindi or explosive nung kanilang performance, and we can see, or dun pa nga natin binanggit na they are the strongest contender that we have so far in that aspect, and we are looking forward na baka may sasapaw pa.
Yeah.
Diba?
I mean, 4 weeks has gone by and it kind of feels like we have a lot more to show pa, no? Parang may room pa tayo for improvement dito sa ating local scene natin. Kaya buti na lang at tapos na ang ating on-site qualifiers para ma-open up na natin ang ating registration for the whole Philippines as a whole. Para na mapag-usapan natin ng onte, na mabilisan lamang ang ating tournament format. You know, it's good to have everybody be reconciled with what is happening all throughout. But before that, we would like to thank ang Games and Amusement Board for making Predator League Philippine qualifiers possible. Unfortunately, wala sila sa kahit anong mga on-site qualifiers natin. Kasi tapos na. Wala na tayong maaas na pasalubong sa nila.
Thank you pa rin.
Pero thank you dahil they are able to give us an opportunity to make this event possible, give a lot of names dito sa Philippine qualifiers ng Valorant ng voice para makipakita ang galing at ang talent nila sa esport na ito. Well, tapos na tayo sa ating spiel. What about yung tournament format as a whole? Because it has been 4 weeks in and we have been all across the country para makita natin kung sino yung best Philippine team on LAN. But that is on the on-site qualifiers. Ngayon, we have opened up ng registration sa lahat ng mga pwedeng maglaro dito sa Pilipinas, and it is the first of 4 para sa online qualifiers natin pa lang.
And yes, that is today, tomorrow, in 14 and 15 of October for the rest ng ating online qualifiers. And syempre, yung mga champions ng kada leg ng ating mga qualifiers will advance forward sa ating phase 2. Wherein, in the group stage, ayan, pakikipagsapalaran na naman yan, laglagan na naman. And the top 2 will be able to advance forward sa ating playoffs, wherein meron silang chance na makipag-compete sa Predator League 2024 Philippine Grand Finals natin, and may chance pa sila na i-represent yung mga Pinoy na mag-iingay na naman sa APAC Predator League Finals natin.
I mean, hindi lang naman sa computer shop tayo makaka-expect na magiging maingay sila. Siyempre, sa isang napakamabigating LAN tournament.
Arena na yun.
Arena na yun. Kumbaga, kung saan ang dami na ding nanonood ng mga players or yung mga viewers natin. Hindi lang natin makikita online, pero malay mo naman, makikita natin ng ibang mga announcers natin for our later stages of the tournament. At syempre naman, hindi lang naman yung seat for the group stages ang ating naging stakes dito. Of course, everybody has something to play here dito sa qualifiers natin para ma-clear lang sa lahat ano ba yung ating naging tournament prize pool. Syempre, ang lahat ng ating mga qualifiers ay magkakaroon ng winner, and in first prize winner na yun ay makakapanalo ng 5,000 pesos. That's right, 5,000 pesos sa kada qualifier leg natin. We've had 8, and this is the, I believe, yung 5th nating week overall para sa ating naging qualifiers. So this is the 5th time that we'll be giving up again 5,000 pesos sa ating magiging first place winner sa ating qualifiers. Pero syempre, hindi doon yung napakalaking pera dito eh.
Siyempre, yung pangmalakihang pera natin dito where everything nakahain na sa lamesa natin. We have 55K for our third and fourth placer para sa ating PLPH finals. And for our second place, we have 100,000 at stake. And the half of the cake is going to be placed for our first placers here, wherein 250,000 lang naman, wow.
Lang naman,
lang naman ang kanilang makukuha dito.
Barya lang yung 250,000 pesos. Sabi
Kasi
ni Mochi.
ganun ka tayo kamahal ni Predator Gaming.
Tama. In the name of esports and in the name of Valorant nga naman, mga kaibigan, for 500,000 pesos for the overall prize pool ng PLPH Finals. Lots more to come para sa ating mga announcements. Para malaman nyo kung paano nyo mapapanood ang lahat. Dahil syempre, nakahain na ang kung ano yung prepare natin para sa susunod nating mga linggo. But syempre, mag-focus tayo sa present natin. Let's take a look at the tournament bracket overall dito sa ating online qualifier. Sa ating susunod na mga laban. Of course, top 8 has been present for everyone. We've had big names overall dito sa ating online qualifiers. We have Oasis Gaming, Aim Uno, a very, very familiar faces para sa ating parehong names. At syempre, nakapanalo ang Oasis Gaming yun, followed up by Azrate Esports versus BAS Kitsune, with Azrate Esports taking the leg papunta dito sa ating semifinals. On the other end, it's Naos Esports versus Paladin Atlas United, with on top, Naos Esports heralding yung kanilang semifinals bracket, while Game Lab Alpha, sa naman ang nakapanalo kay Ice Cream, they will be heading on to the semis where it is looking like a very heated matchup para sa ating susunod na bracket.
3 giants of the competitive local scene ang makikita natin dito for the first day of our online qualifiers. And syempre, these players, we have to keep in mind that these players will be playing at the peak of their comfort dahil kasama nila yung mga tropa nila, nandun sila in their personal units and stuff. So, I think this is going to be really crucial kasi this can impact their play a lot. And not only that, since we already have been able to see kung ano yung performance ni Game Lab Alpha from last week, I think we can have some safe expectations as well na hopefully they can improve. But in totality, G4, sana, or I think it is safe to assume that this is going to be a really destructive and chaotic match.
The most stacked semifinals bracket that we've seen in a very, very long time. May underdog at malay mo naman, even though the odds are stacked against them, malay mo, makakuha sila ng Cinderella story dito sa ating qualifiers. Or malay mo naman, we'll have the Battle of the Ages. Malay mo, makarating tayo sa Naos Esports versus Oasis Gaming matchup that has been rivaled ever since the start of yung VCL season natin overall, diba? But maybe, but in the meantime, dito muna tayo pumali sa ating may susunod na semifinals matchup. It is Azrate Esports versus Naos right here, right now, mga kaibigan. We're getting ready for the draft as we head on into the game. But let's take a little bit of discussion. Not around the underdog muna kasi Azrate Esports, we don't know a lot about them. They're definitely one of the newer teams na meron tayo dito. Actually, newer is not the right term They're not the most popular team overall that we could say. Meron silang naging appearance back in 2022, back in very lower tier 2 tournaments. They've had strong, consistent performances against CDG Seraphims, which it's not really performing into an extent na kung ano yung nakita natin sa mga popular teams natin, kaya hindi sila naging household name sa local scene natin. Pero para sa Naos Esports, yan naman yung household name na meron tayo in under 3 years. They have heralded themselves as one of the best dito sa PH natin.
And I think that is drastically evident naman, kahit na makita mo lang yung page nila, makita mo man lang yung magiging lineup nila, wherein we have seen kung gano'n na rin na-establish na Naos yung kanilang mga sarili. From before is medyo nahihirapan sila, how we'll be able to work with this composition, ano-ano ba yung mga taong involved dito, paano natin pakikisamahan to, paano tayo makabuo ng synergy. Right now, they've been able to facilitate it really well, but there are some changes in terms of their lineup right now which may possibly affect how they can play. Of course, this is for better or for worse.
Mali mo naman, dito natin malalaman ngayon na nasa agent select tayo. It is Fracture. The first fracture of the Predator League 2023. Ayaw na ayaw ni Mochi, kaya buti na lang at wala na sa susunod nating patch. Para sa susunod nating laban. Oh, actually, it's Oasis Gaming versus Azrate Esports. I don't know how to read, unfortunately. Para sa susunod natin. Kaya malalaman natin ito. So, we also have to consider yung changes natin for Oasis Gaming. Kasi if you look at the lineup, Kelly S is now the starting duelist para sa Oasis Gaming. They took out tong si Georgie, unfortunate para sa kanya. Pero I guess Oasis Gaming are gonna be heralding this new style of this. Ano yung pros and cons na ngayon na nandito si Kali S compared to Georgie? Si Kali S, meron siyang naging experiences na IGL before in one of his VCT teams, right? So he can second call for the team, he can give a lot more decisiveness, more flavor to the mix, and he can also do well with his comfort pick nga ngayon na Raze. He used to be one of the best Raze back in VCT. So I'm curious if Oasis are able to play around him kasi they've been used to Georgie's playstyle for so long.
Yeah.
And maybe this will all change ngayon na nandito na si Kalias.
Exactly, no? We're not quite sure how they will address this type of adjustment, lalong-lalo na in this type of an arena or gantong environment na kailangan nilang pagpalagan. But at the same time kasi, we can use that, like what you said, pwede natin yun magamit as a not only a way na parang isipin, ba yan, mag-adjust na naman tayo, but in a way na parang opportunity na rin kasi they have, like what you've said, he has this type of background na meron siyang IGLA experience, and this can actually aid the team, and if ever man na kailangan nila with additional call-outs and stuff, since siya naman lagi ang mag-lead ng charge, since he's the one freeing the space and stuff, then I think it is going to be most likely beneficial for Oasis Gaming as long as they will be able to use it in a way na hindi sila magkakaroon ng misconceptions or miscommunications in their place.
Alam mo ibig sabihin din nun, then they have one less Raze player sa team comp ng Oasis Gaming, di ba? So they went down from 4, now they are 3. So loob ng Oasis Gaming so far. You know? That's a pretty mean
Mali
thing
tayo
to
ng
talk
Fury.
about. Diba?
Sayang.
Wala na.
Akala namin bubuo sila ng 5-man stack ng Raze.
Oo nga eh. Hindi na natin makikita yung imagine if nagkaroon ng rank sa replication, di ba? Eh di sana mananalo na sana yung Oasis.
Oo, matik na yun, no?
Oo.
Parang isipin na, all Raze, parang sabog talaga ang buong mundo. Literal.
Paint shells all around and then they're just throwing
Showstopper,
boom bots.
sunod-sunod, no?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, how chaotic
Here.
this would be if Oasis Gaming lose yung kanilang pinakaunang round. Let's find out as they are on the side this time around. Marky having some contact again with Rue, and they start off strong. Gandang contact pagkatapos gamitin ng kanilang concuss from the breach. Good communication all around para sa Azrate Esports as Oasis, they fight back with another out from the lurk galing dito kay Draxi.
And yes, of course, they've been able to penetrate our B side just ever so cleanly. Pambawi man na ng bahagya atin si Draxi on the roof, which will benefit them in the long run. Pero yun nga lang, nako, inunaan pa nila yung 2-3-7, and yes, si Draxi din, igang ka-counter doon. And this leads us now to Eli as the one last person here on the side of Azrate Esports na maaaring mapag-contest sa kanila. But at this time, it's going to be pretty difficult with all the utilities na nakakalat dito from our Killjoy. But they are playing this really safe. Tamang free fire lang dito sila eh. But at the same time, with this type of position, mukhang medyo mahihirapan siya. Naka-crossfire siya. And it is going to be a real clean cut here from Jaxi, gaining 4 kills for just the first round.
So,
Yeah, I mean, good start dito overall. You give your utility player the most amount of ult orbs, and that will be a very big game changer pagdating dito sa post-plant natin. I do like that they are proactive around the map when they lose one man down for Oasis Gaming, diba? They push out dito si Marky doon sa may A, and okay lang kahit mamatay siya kasi you can make your own moves around the map. That's why Happy 8K has been trusted to take yung ating magiging other side doon sa pag-push over B. You also take Draxi to take the forward space once he has his momentum going dun sa may A main, which is also like really good for Oasis Gaming. They keep this round in, they keep this stride going. Then Azrate Esports are getting a lot of pressure sa lahat ng sides of the map, especially with Fracture being in the mix. I do like that they are all in a bootcamp situation. That means the communication is gonna be solid, may fist bumps all around, sama-sama pa rin sila. And even though it's not like a LAN setup, they're definitely gonna be in sync eh. Kasi sanay na sila eh sa bootcamp.
Tsaka, ang ano dito actually, ang advantage din dito is hindi nila matitilt yung isa't isa.
Wala lang
Just
sigawan.
in case that they want to go for banters, di ba? And it's going to be a much in a peaceful, meron silang treasure nila yung kanilang inner peace. Kumbaga, no? But yeah, it seems like they will be executing dito sa A site natin momentarily, and mabilis din naman ang pag-respond dito as a esports, regardless of the fact na medyo pang lang sila dito in terms of the guns, sinusubuan pa rin nila dito na pumalag. But with this type of situation, where yung dalawa na this is going to be pretty difficult for them, lalong-lalo na nagtindi din ang pagpupush dito ng mga members natin for the side of the team, just because they are pretty confident with what they can do, and they've got the advantage, and flawless flawless lang naman ang kanilang ginawa dito.
Amazing for them kasi that means that they're keeping their money in check. Not that much damage. Although armor, still into debate kung bibili mo pa ba o hindi. Pero ang importante, they still keep the guns. They still keep every single member having the same guns that they had in the previous round. And it also looks like they're all in the same vibe then.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
Kalias has been sticking in pretty well for this team, doing his job really well. Draxi still at the top helm dito for Oasis Gaming. But this is where all the marbles are being played na dito ngayon. Kasi nakabayad out na agad ang Azraid Esports. And they're not playing this passively at all. They want to play this as proactively as possible. 4 position out again from the chamber and Sky. And at least getting one before they can try to play for the defense this time around. Psycho Pop using yung teleport niya, pabalik doon sa loob ng smoke. While Marky is trying to mark his prey, already low because of the shock darts out from the Oasis Sova. They already have the site on lockdown as Raid Esports back on the
Yan na lang. So, well, may hirapan dito sa Azraid Esports si Javi. Naku, si Javi, nagpa-pop up lang naman siya, pero siya ay pinabagsak dito in the run ko. Naku, pinalagan. But, naku, isa na naman naiiwan dito si Psycho Pump. Is he gonna be pumped up? Offer stake, but not for long. Dahil si Wild Oreo lang naman ang details sa kanyang buhay. And yun nga lang, this is not going to be a good sign for the side of Azraid Esports. Number 1 is hindi, yung napitas sila, but not actually to the extent that they wanted to because at this point na tato, mukhang hindi sila magkakaroon ng magandang stronghold in terms of their economy. Mukhang magsasardinas muna sila o toyo, asin, hindi natin sure, but it's just really gonna be difficult on their end na makabangon this type of economy.
I mean, they had the right idea, di ba? If they wanted to control that, then dapat hindi lang si Chamber yung gagawa ng idea na gano'n. Talagang kailangan niya ng support from the Sky. It's just that the positioning was not favorable for the Sky itself. He was on a very wide angle, while Psycho Pump had the benefit of using a teleport once that they get the pick off. But once they did, they traded 1-for-1. And on defense, it's not as strong as you would on attack.
Yes.
You want to take the 1-for-1 para makuha mo yung isang layer of map control that is being controlled by the CT side. As Raid Esports not benefiting from the trade off whatsoever. So Oasis back on pressuring the same position that they did on the previous round. So sama-sama lang agad yung apat. Sa loob ng bootcamp at saka sa loob ng ating extremity as Galias, he pushes into the side. He has the new Phantom. Ang ganda, pero I'm not sure everybody wants to get that.
True. Para siyang ni-level up na ano tawag na minima? Yeah, para siyang evolution ni minima. But yeah, you can see some subtle adjustments dito ng mga members natin for the side of Azraid Esports. Kanina tatlo sila sa A because they thought na magkagawin ng alternate pattern in terms of execution si Oasis, but that's not exactly the gist of it. Mukhang nahulog sila sa patibok na ng slide, but we have been able to see that M has been able to execute. Sinundan pa ni Wild Oreo. Despite
one enemy remaining.
Subukan na mag-up for trade si Wild Oreo. Walang tigil pa rin ang massacre na kanya ginagawa dito. Mga sinusuportahan pa. And yes, once again, Wild Oreo is operating on tip-top shape at the current situation.
Yeah, give this guy all the orbs in the world. Kaya meron na siya agad the Beach Ultimate. This is why anti-eco rounds are definitely really strong para sa kung sino yung may guns. Not only because of the weaponry, but because that is the best opportunity for every single utility player to have yung ultimates nila. You get 4 kills over to the Breach who can use his Rolling Thunder kapag kailangan nyo ng aggressive positioning. Tapos, ipag-farm mo si Avi 8K ng mga ult orbs while he's also getting kills himself. So that's the ultimate. Makes the execution definitely more than possible para sa Oasis Gaming, and also kind of limits yung kung ano yung positioning na kailangan ko ng Azraid. So if magko-close position sila, then they're gonna be on the back end of yung Rolling Thunder na ilalabas nitong si Wild Oreo kapag may position siya. And they have to give up the space kasi kailangan din nilang gamitin yung lockdown, which now in fruition para kay Javi 8K, forcing the B side to be unnoticed. Papasok ba ang Azraid Esports or are they gonna wait off the push para magkaroon sa narinig mamaya? Mukhang second choice na lamang ito. Kaso mukhang na ano pa nga tong si Breach doon sa loob ng tower.
Nahuli pa. Yun nga lang, makikita siya dito. Yung elbow mo, pare. Nasisilip nga lang, no? Pero ngayon, mukhang wala pang sagot si Azure Esports
Nakadogi
dito. Subukan niya talaga. Parang ano siya, no, nag-chicken dance siya doon sa isang gilid. Nakakrouch pa siya, saktong-sakto, para siyang sisiw. Pero yun nga lang, dagdagan pa. It is going to be a casualty here for the side of Oasis, or both sides, so TLDR. And mukhang mawawalan na rin sila ng oras para mag-opt ng retake dito si Azure Esports. In this type of situation, it's going to be pretty difficult. They might be hesitant. Lalong-lalo na nade-delay na sila ng nade-delay. And they're just getting all the frags na pwede makuha dito to the side of Oasis. Si Draxi kanina ka pa. Lakas ng Guardian Angel ni Draxi. Not gonna lie, ha. Ang alam ko, huling kita ako sa KDA niya, 503. 7 na siguro ngayon.
Yeah, I mean, they're also kind of wary about the mistake that they did before, diba? Remember the buy round, they wanted to play the proactive game, but that also puts you in risk na masira yung pera, especially on the CT side, right? So as Raid Esports, they decided to play the passive game, try to play for numbers, especially now that they have put the lockdown dun sa B side kung saan yun yung pinakamalakas na location na pwedeng ilabas ni Avi 8K with his lockdown. They decided to play for the 4 versus 5 instead, since nakommit na agad ng positioning ng breach nila doon sa loob ng tower. Wala silang mga gamit na concuss pang retake, wala silang mga gamit na assistant sa loob nun sa site na yun. Kelly S trying to chase down tong si Ru, who just backs in towards safety, not needing to use that many mobility skills. Pero para sa Oasis, talagang tamang pressure lamang sa bawat side ng mapa. Kita mo, nasa loob sila ng A. Talagang pinapress nila yung buttons nun doon. Kaya hindi sila nagro-rotate agad kasi gusto nila i-fish out yung kalaban nila doon sa may dish. Habang ang Oasis naglalabas na ng presence doon sa kabilang side ng mapa. But they're just deciding on where they want to go. They already noted kung nasan yung jet. And that's the best place to push down. Ngayon na nagta-transport yung spike all the way to dish, while they're also noting kung nasaan yung mga utility players. Tinan mo, talagang A-site na lang yung lalabanan nila dito.
But, ayun nga lang, nakapita sa red dito si Savvy, which is a really good sign for them to up and commit to our A site. Instead, sinasayang or talagang gina-get rid nila lahat ng mga units sa binabato dito ni Azure Esports. Is definitely a good thing to do, lalong-lalo na if they want to get rid of them for the retake. And inabangan pa nga talaga ng matindihan dito ni Kelly S. Din na magdagpa tong isa. And mukhang hindi siya aware kung nasan yung whereabouts ito. There are some miscommunications or evidence dito sa side ng Azure Esports, which definitely reduces their chances in opting for a retake. And just like that, Oasis has been able to dominate this round once again. Hindi pa nakapunto si Azure dito.
And with no surprise, dahil dito sa Oasis Gaming and how well they've been playing the pressure game all throughout, hindi lang sa isang side ng mapa, pero on both sides itself, both on arcade, while they have a majority of their core trying to press the buttons, the issue, dahil nandun yung chamber, alam nila na lagi siyang willing to take the risk of using because of that teleport. And plus the Jet, the only guy that can hold down yung dish natin, it doesn't have the best utility to stop them din eh, unless he hits a shot. So, unfortunate para maibigay nila yung map space doon sa ating dish. But now they push onto main, and that is where Psycho Pump will get denied by Kelly S. Operator is down. Ru will get the 1-for-1. Papasok pa rin as Raid Esports into every single fight with support from the Rolling Thunder on both ends. Oasis Gaming, they give up the fight, but while Oreo still wants to get the site.
Spike planted.
Nakuha na nila ang kanilang groove dito. And they've been able to equalize the numbers here. Maganda ang sign that they are going for some pulses here for the side of Azure Esports. But the question is if this is actually enough. Now he is caught in a 1v2 situation here. Liju, anong yung gagawin? Apply niya ito na maganda. Yun nga lang, still Wild Oreo has the advantage because yun nga, he has more stable aim in comparison to the members here for the side of Azure Esports, and definitely hindi pa rin talaga sila pinapapuntos ng Oasis.
Hindi talaga. And that was the best time for them to be aggressive din eh. Kasi they only had that one stable weapon that they'd had dito sa Azurate, and that was yung tour de force ng ginamit ni Psycho Pump. Denied agad by Kelly S in his movement. You can see why he's also really good as a raise, right?
Yeah.
He has the benefit of being one of the best satchel users dito sa Pilipinas natin, which kind of denies any sort of A-main control. They split up the fight because of the ultimates out for both breaches. Pero the fact na nauna yung Azurate Esports Rolling Thunder and giving Oasis Gaming the window to use their own ultimate last just gives them the space to take full A-main control. As well as yung spike plant dito for Wild Oreo. So Ru on the long angle, whiffs the shot from the Blade Storm. Kelly S noted, scarred, but not limping at all. Talagang ginamit pa nga ang smoke para mag-buy ng time para sa defense ng Azure Esports. But he just waited out. And only for the contact itself.
That is if hakayaan sila nito na gawin ng Oasis Gaming, because at the current time, yes, they're playing for time, they're doing their best or looking for the best time to strike here dito sa B-site natin with no movement or any information being leaked at all. Blaze Storm natin activated na here on the side of Fru, and let us see kung magkakaroon ba to ng advantage on their end and if magpa-pop off siya dito sa current round natin ngayon. Showstoppers already been activated, well the shot, pero merong nasa likod niya. Nako, si Psycho Pump lang naman ang kikita sa boy dito ni Savvy. Magkakaroon na sa sagutan dito ng dalawang miyembro pa the side of Oasis. Pinasabugan pa tong si Psycho Pump as Redemption. And we are gonna see if there is still a possible retake option here from the side of Azrate Esports. Ito palagi ang kanilang ball. Ito dapat ang kailangan talaga nilang work on. Hopefully ay magawa nila yon, because at the current time parang nauubusan na rin sila in terms of utilization, and we are seeing the rest of the members here for the side of Oasis just simply putting down all of the necessary utilities, and they're the ones walking into it.
Yeah, not respecting na agad yung mga angles na set up na for Azrate, no? I kind of want to see this replay kasi it's kind of interesting how they all funneled into one spot na din eh. It's considerable for Azrate because they don't have the best weaponry, but Oasis Gaming have forced them to do that. After the one shot doon kay Psycho Pump, it wasn't the most groundbreaking kill that they've had, but it's the one that they needed so far sana. They needed something to keep the ball rolling. They need the momentum to run hot. Pero hindi sila nagkakaroon ng snowball effect eh. Oasis Gaming have been doing really well at controlling spots where they can pop off. Kaso, lagi nilang pine-pressurize yung kung saan sila lalabas. Over towards the generator side.
They're shooting Azrate as prey.
Especially now that Ru is forced to do something, especially with that operator. Denied by Wild Oreo, headshot all the way from the T-spawn. The 8 is split up from the pack. It is that ultimate from Marky. Tries to snipe through Grandfall. He's not safe inside his own home, and they even lurk around the shadows. Another out from Javi 8K, and they get a 2 versus 4 off the back of this.
One enemy remaining.
And we have seen kanina that before they even put the spike down, they've been able to secure numerous of the members here for the side of Azrate Esports already. I mean, okay naman sana that they really want to set up for the ultimates that they are using. But the fact na wala silang follow-up plan in doing so is just very detrimental on their end. Is hindi lang kasi nila nauubos yung mga ultimates nila, but they have been nauubos din yung pera and yung mga utilities na meron sila. So basically, it's not it for them.
Ito kita mo yung heat map kanina kung saan sila namamatay. It's already outside of the site. Hindi sa mismong site itself, hindi sila nag-defend. Because of Oasis Gaming and their capability of playing around the map. Talagang tamang contact play lamang at tamang laban lang sa labas ng site. 1 for 1, Laiju getting 2. At least they get something out of this aggressive positioning dun sa A. Leaving Marky to get the spike dun sa may A site. The fact that Azrate Esports have been 1 for 1 leads na naman, it's giving Oasis a lot of space and time to think about where they can position themselves. For Javi 8K, he has been concussed by the Trailblazer itself. So yung Molly masisira, pero yung aim niya hindi mawawala. Nakadoble si Javi 8K, and it's all on the operator. Psycho Pump late to the party, late to the call. 3v1. Paano niya hahanapin yung nasa loob ng smoke?
Teleport's ready.
I'm actually wondering why they opt to get an operator with the situation that they're currently in. But just like that, they've been able to eliminate him out of this game. And yes, it's already a 0-10 and might be possible a 13-0 in the history of the rest of our qualifiers if ever man, no, na mapaplay nila yon ng maganda for the side of Oasis Gaming. But like what you've said in terms of their heat map, we can say na simula umpisa from creating some really small adjustments in hopes to make it for the better, nagiging reactive nila to the point that they cannot execute anything properly here for the side of Azrate.
Yeah, and they're not able to defend kasi nasisira na agad yung numbers advantage nila. Binibigyan nila yung 4 versus 5 early.
Their util din.
Their util's not in the right place. Hindi sila nagkakaroon ng aim duels na favorable for them. They're attempting early aim duels. Already noted by the Chamber, and how many times he has been using yung teleport niya to get the early peaks, not getting the first blood. Yung operator na kinuha ng Jet dun sa B main, not getting the first blood, na headshot agad ni Wild Oreo, diba? Tapos, after that, hindi na dinidefend yung site. Talagang laban lang doon sa city spawn habang sila'y siya lang yung nasa loob ng tower at kailangan niyang idepensahan ang nag-iisang B site for them. Habang hinintay niya yung triple flag out from the the sky, fly. And the one tap dito kay Marky. Kelly, yes, a 1-for-1 as Ranpo will get another para dito sa Asprey. And they try to call upon the ultimate, but is that more than enough para makuha nila yung retake?
Pinapaulanan na lang ng Oasis Gaming dito all of the utilities from Wild Oreo. Alam naman natin kung gaano sila kayaman in terms of their their economy, and they are taking advantage of that. Magkakaroon tayo ng kasagutan dito for Liju momentarily, and this is going to be a really good chance for them to secure their first round of the
30
game
seconds
and
left.
hopefully get some light for them to end the tunnel na kahit pa paano they can still work this out. But at the current time, mukhang medyo nahihirapan pa rin sila. Kelly S nakaisa pa, but that will be it here for the side of Oasis Gaming, and they will be executing them just like that.
In the
Lai, the savior of the show. And again, it's all about buying time for the triple flank para dito sa Azraid Esports. They're done being passive and they want to be the ones calling the shots. Kaya by the time that Lai was able to get that one, he was able to give the information para sa Azraid Esports. Kaya decisive na sila mag-push at hindi na sila natatakot na labanan ang mga members ng Oasis Gaming out from that B main position.
I really hope na magawa nila yung skill harmony nila nung first 3 rounds natin, kasi they're attempting to do that and I see the potential behind it eh. Hopefully is magawa nila yon kasi with those types of stuff that they're using, the concuss, someone will gonna peek, meron mga blinds, dadagdagan pa ng mga
You should run.
crowd control utilities. It is going to be really beneficial for them in the long run. They just really have to keep themselves together.
Yeah. Try niya yung wall bang agad.
Wala.
I-lockdown natin.
Pwede yan.
Pero hindi eh.
Madaya yan.
I mean, pwede. Pero hindi siya kasi, it's too tanky eh.
Yeah, it's too
Hindi niya
tanky.
masisira with just 3 guardian shots katulad ng kahit sino na mapapatay mo sa Valorant. But
It will make you too vulnerable.
yeah, it's too vulnerable, too wide in the open. Nakapasok na agad yung Oasis Gaming. At lumabas sila agad ng site. They already have yung ultimate, the Kelly S, but it does not hit the mark. Rui push them towards the tower position at talagang Azraid Esports. They are done being passive. They are done playing around Oasis time. Draxi though, he peeks off itong si Rambo and he tries to get the benefit of Oasis Gaming's long flank. It is a triple, a 4K for Draxi. This guy's on one today as Oasis. They are done being the passive players. They want to be the ones calling the shots and they want to dominate Azraid Esports right here, right now.
May bumulong sa kanya, pre. Sabi, bigla na lang gumalaw yung kamay ko, nakakuha ko ng photo. Ganun lang, no? Sinimplehan lang ni Draxi. I mean, it's really good na lahat ng mga util is just really making Azraid so reactive to the point na ang ipaprayo nila is makapunta sa position that they will be safe. So the rest of the people here from the Oasis will prioritize na, you know what, these people are gonna keep themselves occupied in doing that. So why not? Let's just secure them in doing so, di ba?
Yeah, I mean, good call para sa Oasis Gaming. Dahil napatayan na agad yung yung smoker nila. It was one of the first 2 kills para kay Draxi to actually make the decisive call to take the long flank. At saka, may lurk pa sila from the mid side all the way towards yung papunta natin sa arcade, right?
Yeah.
Alam mo, it's been so long since I've called Fracture. Nakakalimutan ka na yung callouts dito eh.
Parang ano yun? Sa may drop? Yung mga ganun na lang naman. Parang dish na pala. Oo, doon na lang sa sulok, sa kabi. Anong kabi?
Kabi? May kabi pala dito.
Diba? Para di mo na malaman kung paano mo tatawagin. Like
Diba?
yung pocket ng A-side. Anong pocket?
Parang pocket. Hindi, nasa vents.
Guys, nag-TP. Lahat na, napunta ng bay, napunta ng split. Napunta ng hebe.
Oo nga eh. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin icebox kasi may rope sa icebox eh.
Ibig
May
sabihin,
ropes
doon
nandito.
din yung percentage ng mga players na may ayaw ng fracture.
Oo nga eh.
Ano din eh, nag-reflect din sa atin yun na, tagal na natin di nakita to ah.
Oo nga eh. Parang eh.
I think it's the least picked of the newer maps.
Oo
Tama
nga,
ba?
yeah,
Parang
it
mas
is.
madalas
It
papiliin
is.
si Pearl, si Lotus.
Si Lotus, mas marami pa nga eh. Nakatatlo
Yeah,
pa nga
it's-
ata tayong Lotus eh.
It's less of a hassle to navigate around din eh. I mean,
Yeah.
Fracture is, you can see the reason why they're gonna remove this in the next patch.
Actually, ito I want to open up a discussion. And something that's more interesting than the 1 to 11 right now. Ito do you think it's, considering na Fracture or at least yung mga maps na hindi mapaplay ay napaplay na ibang mga teams katulad ng Game Lab Alpha, katulad nitong Fracture game natin. 'Di ba Pearl, naglaro tayo last time na nandito tayo sa Predator League. Do you think it's good for teams to play on maps that are not gonna be present in the next patch?
Ewan ko rin eh.
Ewan mo. Hindi, kasi isipin,
Parang hindi.
for longevity purpose, parang hindi, di ba?
Hindi.
Bakit?
Especially na, I mean, bakit ba nilang alisin? Malamang they'll do some alterations, diba?
No, sabagay.
Lalong-lalo na what happened with the Breeze. It's just really unfortunate na the teams are really just studying around how can we take advantage of this spot?
Yeah,
How
that's
can
true.
we utilize this and stuff? And then biglang ma-alter and stuff. You can see the reason, but at the same time, parang with the alterations na ginawa nila doon, parang ewan ko, medyo nawala ng purpose yung ibang mga areas, if that makes sense. And I hope that that doesn't happen for Fracture as well.
Hopefully.
And with the current na design naman ni Fracture, parang okay naman siya. I just wonder kung ano yung gagawin nila dito.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah,
No?
kasi usually kapag ka magtatanggal sila ng map, pag ibabalik nila may iba na likod. Malay mo, yung isang likod na entrance dun sa tatanggalin nila. Malay mo.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know, I'm not a dev.
I mean, that's the, diba, the purpose of Fracture. You want to go around and make your enemies lose their mind.
Tapos
Just like
yung
what
city
Oasis
spawn
is
nasa
doing
mid.
onto Azraid right now.
Yeah.
Diba?
Spike
The
planted.
all-out brawl, papunta dito sa may B. Psycho Pump at least, he gets one from the Headhunter. While Kelly S also will put his name on the kill feed. A 3 versus 3 for Azraid Esports on the T side. They got the plant para dito sa loob ng site natin. Habang ang Oasis talaga nag-aanap ng kahit anong picks malabas nila doon sa may canteen. Papasok, triple kill from Kelly S. And it's all on Psycho Pump, pero nawala na agad ng bullets ang Headhunter na dito. Kaya papasok naman siya laban dito kay Kelly S. But he is getting dealt with patience, with confidence. Wild Oreo jumping up and down, dodging away from every single
Match
bullet from the
point.
pistol. It is
That's
just
happening.
ugly, disgusting. It is unfathomable why Oasis Gaming are dominating. But at the same time, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised as well. I mean, these people are wild from the
enemy
get-go.
remaining.
No pun intended sa naming Wild Oreo, but they're wild from the get-go, diba? They've been so explosive in their previous teams,
Wild.
so bago pa sila pagsamad-samahin, and yes, they're just wreaking havoc at this current match that we have right now, where Azraid is quite unsure how are we gonna address this. Like, dude, these Apex Predators are just coming up on us. We're quite unsure how we will address this. They tried to upward the strength in numbers, pero still they managed to trace it here from the side of Oasis. LS naman nahulog dito, and it's now equalizing terms of numbers. But they will have some light here in terms of executing them, because all of the abilities here are just preventing Oasis, what they call this, Azraid, into delaying them and pushing forward sa A site natin.
May double flank pa nga sila Oasis
Yeah.
Gaming already sandwiching them. Chucking them back doon sa ating A site
Oh
itself.
no, they're not gonna
Javi
expect
8K
it.
creeping up onto Azraid, the assassin. He does put some bullets in. He's limping. He's dead. Psycho Pump as the first sign of death para sa Azraid Esports as they get knocked down like a tree trunk para sa Oasis Gaming. 13-1. A dominating victory para sa Oasis. And this just proves that last week was a fluke. Last week, we are not the same Oasis Gaming. We are done.
Defenders win.
Surprise! Hindi, ano lang yun guys, testing lang yung last time.
Testing lang pala.
Alam na. And then now, they've been here, they've been able to exert their dominance. Di lang dominance, parang they colonized Azraid Esports.
my
Like, it's
God.
13-1!
Ginawa mong
Like,
Spanish sila
No! Like, under the, como esta.
Como esta.
Wala akong alam sa Spanish,
Yeah, ako din
guys.
eh.
But yeah, that's a really good match here for the side of Oasis Gaming, and a good way to,
Break the ice.
yeah, make room for time. Literal. Kasi ang bilis ng laban nila, guys.
Kaya nga.
13-1. And I don't know, this is going to be a good one for Oasis Gaming, but this can be really damaging for the side of Azraid Esports, but also an eye-opener na they really have a lot of work to get done on their end, and if they can solidify themselves further, malay mo, they can come back stronger on our future qualifiers for our online, diba?
Yeah, tama. Kasi pwede pa rin naman sila mag-register kung
Yes, sir.
talo sila ngayon. And they also had a very solid run din naman, all things considered. So, you know, if Azrate Esports have the resiliency and the passion para i-pursue ang kanilang
They've
dreams,
got the idea na.
then
They just
can-
have to.
Tama. They already
know?
have the idea. They have the aggression. They also have yung kanilang resiliency dito. I also have to consider then the Psycho Pump. He knows how to play chamber naman eh. And he has the right ideas. He likes to put a TP, makes the interesting call to take the early fights head on. Unfortunately though, they were up against the belly of the beast. Talagang Oasis Gaming are on form today para maikuha ang kanilang qualifying stage. Pero
Yeah.
para sa susunod na bracket, talagang ito ang mainitang laban dito. It is Naos Esports versus Game Lab Alpha para sa susunod na semifinals bracket. Kaya huwag kayong aalis mga kaibigan. Magbabalik ang Predator League 2023.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Easy.
Get out of here. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Okay, time for approach.
Last player standing.
I can't tell if what's wrong.
30 seconds left.
Right there.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Be it.
Enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
With the Predator Helios 3D15 Spatial Labs Edition.
The 13th gen Intel Core i9 HX processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 GPU, and our custom-engineered Aeroblade cooling, alongside liquid metal over the CPU.
Delivering intuitive interaction and immersive sensation through technologies like advanced sensory solutions, optical display, and the latest real-time rendering technologies.
With the Helios Neo 16. 13th gen Intel Core processor? Check. GeForce RTX 40 series graphics? Of course. As for cooling, the Helios Neo includes Predator's custom-engineered cooling solutions listed here, with our unique Aeroblade fans and liquid metal thermal grease. Predator Triton 17X laptop. This powerhouse features a GeForce RTX 4090 with a max TGP of 175 watts, the Acer Nitro XC452 CUV at 44.5 inches with a 32:9 ultra-wide aspect ratio and 1500R curvature. Predator Orion X. The Intel Core i9 13900KS Special Edition processor boasts 24 cores, a flagship NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. It is the smallest PC that features this GPU. Upgrade your gaming experience with the Predator Orion X.
Predator Helios 3D15 Spatial Labs Edition.
The 13th gen Intel Core i9 HX processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 GPU, and our custom-engineered Aeroblade cooling, alongside liquid metal over the CPU.
Delivering intuitive interaction and immersive sensation through technologies like advanced sensory solutions, optical display, and the latest real-time rendering technologies.
With the Helios Neo 16. 13th gen Intel Core processor? Check. GeForce RTX 40 series graphics? Of course. As for cooling, the Helios Neo includes Predator's custom-engineered cooling solutions listed here, with our unique Aeroblade fans and liquid metal thermal grease. Predator Triton 17X laptop. This powerhouse features a GeForce RTX 4090 with a max TGP of 175 watts, the Acer Nitro XC452 CUV at 44.5 inches with a 32:9 ultra-wide aspect ratio and 1500R curvature. Predator Orion X. The Intel Core i9 13900KS Special Edition processor boasts 24 cores, a flagship NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. It is the smallest PC that features this GPU. Upgrade your gaming experience with the Predator Orion X.
Predator Helios 3D15 Spatial Labs Edition.
The 13th gen Intel Core i9 HX processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 GPU, and our custom-engineered Aeroblade cooling, alongside liquid metal over the CPU.
Delivering intuitive interaction and immersive sensation through technologies like advanced sensory solutions, optical display, and the latest real-time rendering technologies.
With the Helios Neo 16. 13th gen Intel Core processor? Check. GeForce RTX 40 series graphics? Of course. As for cooling, the Helios Neo includes Predator's custom-engineered cooling solutions listed here, with our unique Aeroblade fans and liquid metal thermal grease. Predator Triton 17X laptop. This powerhouse features a GeForce RTX 4090 with a max TGP of 175 watts, the Acer Nitro XC452 CUV at 44.5 inches with a 32:9 ultra-wide aspect ratio and 1500R curvature. Predator Orion X. The Intel Core i9 13900KS Special Edition processor boasts 24 cores, a flagship NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. It is the smallest PC that features this GPU. Upgrade your gaming experience with the Predator Orion X.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another special appearance dito sa Predator League 2022. Nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Mochi, and this is the second semifinals matchup in our first qualifier in the online Euro.
And nakita naman natin kung gaano naging really dominative itong mga members natin from the side of Oasis Gaming, garnering a 13-1 in terms of score. And it seems like baka mag-level up lang for our second series, you know what I'm saying? Because we will be having now Esports and as well as GameLab Alpha, wherein we have seen paano naglaro sa GameLab Alpha last week. And yes, they've got some trips and fallovers from here and there, and hopefully that they're gonna level that up. Not level up yung trips and falls, but level up in terms of their executions and gain some improvements, lalong-lalo na that they'll be facing a behemoth here, which is now Esports and the local scene. And parang alam naman natin kung ano naging history nila dito during VCL, di ba?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the breakout orgs dito sa loob ng ating esports scene. Well, now, as esports in just 1 year have shown and made their presence dito sa local scene natin, mga kaibigan. And now, they're with new faces, a new roster, and a new lineup to be feared dito sa ating bracket pa lang. Talagang pumasok na si Nexy at si Tesseract back from their former orgs. Si Tesseract umuwi na ng Pilipinas para magkaroon ng kanyang sariling tenure dito sa
Para
NAS
magbalo.
Esports. Oh, tama na magbalo, tama. Tapos si
Uwi siya
Nexy
na
naman, pumunta na siya sa mga panalo natin ng NAS Esports. He was one of the best sentinels in the recent history that we've had dito sa local scene natin. And he's looking to prove that dito sa NAS Esports pa lang. Already a solid roster on their core, but now that they have Tesseract and Nexy, they are elevated, pero hindi pa siya proven and tested eh.
Pero there might be a possibility na ano to ano bang example nito? Like, nung sinalta si Demon 1.
Oh.
Malay mo lang naman, there is a possibility na malay mo they're already the catalysts na maaring magbuo or maging monster na ng tuluyan tong sinaos.
Yeah, kasi
Hindi natin sure.
before kasi, EG kasi we're already parang under par before Demon 1. Tapos, nung pumasok si Demon 1, saka sila naging Macho Man Randy Savage bigla.
Diba?
Pero ngayon, ang Naos, before then, they already had a strong core eh.
Like buo na.
Like buo na agad yung synergy nila.
Mas
Ngayon,
malay mo
mas
magano
nag-elevate
pa.
na eh.
Gumanon pa.
Oh,
Yeah.
from 5'10 to 6'1 na agad, gano'n.
Hindi, 6'3".
6'3", oh! Mas natangkad, alright.
Ganun na,
Tama nga
Hindi
naman.
natin sure. Malay mo lang naman. Kasi, it is good na merong mga experimentations na ginagawa yung mga organization in these types of stuff. But once na makita nga natin that there is already a good na foundation previously, there's already an empire, and then you try to get one aspect of it, papalitan mo ng bago, parang medyo shaky siya, nakakakaba siya,
True.
in that same aspect. Like, it's a hit or miss, kumbaga.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
I acknowledge that fact too.
Yeah, kaya nga eh. Kaya nga hindi sa proven tested eh. Mali mo, ngayon, nasa pinakauna nilang game na itetest out nila yung roster na to hindi mag-workout. Well, they have another shot naman. Kapag natalo sila dito, pwede din sa mag-register sa susunod ng mga qualifiers natin. Katulad sa mga viewers natin at saka sa mga nanonood, pwede pa rin kayo mag-register sa susunod ng mga online qualifiers. This is one of the first online qualifiers para sa Predator League. And you can check out yung registration link sa Predator Gaming official Facebook page. So, manood na kayo dito at malaman nyo kung paano kayo makapag-register ngayon. Alright, well, we're done with the discussion with NAS Esports. What about GameLab Alpha, right? We already talked about them and we already casted them last year. Last year? Hindi, last week.
Last week.
Masyado
Ang
atang
tagal
naging,
na
masyado
Parang
atang
Kings
naging
of
belated.
PH pa yun na.
Kaya nga, naging belated na. Last year, 2022 Predator League, pero wala pa yung GameLab Alpha na time na yun. Pero, ang sinasabi ko sana is that we already saw yung capabilities ng GameLab Alpha. Unfortunately though, yung naging impression sa atin is not the strongest of impressions at all. They were a momentum-based team that were running on high alert, but not in the best of consistencies, diba? Matalo yung kanilang first strats, then they're not able to bounce back. However, that's not the same GameLab Alpha that I saw back in VCL when they were playing BO3s, diba? Mali mo makakapag-bounce back sila ngayon, and I very much trust yung double duelist comp nila eh.
Yeah, actually, di ba, it is going to be a prem contender in terms of compositions and, knowing na sila lang yung team na gumagawa nun. Mostly, it is going to be, or it's supposed to be, something na like mala-wild card yung dating. So if ever man they can adjust in terms of how they've been able to play from the previous week, then that would be very, very good. But it is going to be pretty difficult. Because nakos katapat eh. I mean, like, it's going to be pretty difficult. Lalong-lalo na dalawang beses sila napatao before during VCL. And not only that, 0-2 pareho. So, hirap niyan. Pero dapat kayanin nila.
Yeah, may history na tayo, may foundation, at saka meron tayong storyline heading into this. However, it is a new dawn and a new chapter sa parehong teams natin. A new lineup para sa Naos Esports, pero a new testament para sa ating mga players on GameLab Alpha, di ba? Nung nakita ko yung VOD, kwentuhan ko lang kayo mga kaibigan na, pinapanood ko yung VOD last week nung naglalaro ang GameLab Alpha, and I was surprised to see si Tita May. Siyempre, hindi ako nagulat na nandun si Tita May kasi pinapanood niya yung anak niya maglaro, si Fall X, di ba? Pero, hindi siya supportive eh. She was the opposite of supportive. Gusto niya pauwiin si Fall X nung time na yun.
Parang gusto niya talaga na na pabawiin. Kaya siguro, guys, nagalit yung nanay ko. Kailangan natin galingan this time.
Well, to her credit, napauwi sila maaga. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Kaya, nandito ulit sila ngayon.
Yeah.
Pero online na.
Tapos sa bahay lang siya.
They should be more comfortable in how they can work around with these types of stuff, and hopefully that it can spark something different within them. Hopefully it can ignite the flame na gusto nila na malight or lalong mas maglagablab further. And yeah, hopefully that we can see some advancement from here and there for the side of GameLab Alpha. And for the side of Naos Esports, I wonder kung anong kanilang maihahain sa ating hapagkainan ngayon. Lalong-lalo na nakita naman natin how they've been able to rise up sa ascension natin, and they've been able to show na they've got potential. Parang kailangan na lang pahasain ng konti kumbaga sa diba, sa life.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, well, ang dami nating napag-usapan about like both teams, diba? What individually. Pero if we put them hand in hand, then that will be an entirely different story, diba? As we head on into draft selection para sa para nating teams, malalaman ko na yung mapa at kung maglalaro nga ba si Nexi at saka si Tesseract para sa Naos Esports, diba? At ayun na nga, nagpakita na nga sila. Si Tesseract on the Sova. No surprises here. Back when he was an import sa South Asia PCT, yun din yung naging role niya. Parang para siyang at home.
Go for your comfort,
Tama.
sister. Slay with where you came from and apply it to what you have right now. So, yeah.
Take what resonates with you.
Take what resonates with you. Go on and spill the tea that you usually have.
That's cute.
Diba? Parang ganun siya. So, I mean, it's going to be nice kay Nexi din, di ba?
Yeah.
Like what you said, nagkakwentuhan tayo kanina, yun din naman usually yung kanyang roles, ng TG, ng Sentinel, and noise.
Yeah.
I mean, gano'n na talaga. Parang nandito si Jarso.
You know, remember when
Jarso Dalisay talaga name eh.
Remember back then when Nexi was, I believe, yung Chamber ng Oasis Gaming, back when Chamber meta pa. He definitely showed that he can be capable on somebody who isn't like an anchor sentinel, diba? And now that he's heralded as like a really strong anchor sa kahit anong team na meron siya, then he is given another point of reliability eh. Kaya
ang secret unit na nga rin siya eh, no?
Kaya nga eh, diba? Parang he has the aim for it, and he has the game sense to position himself in situations where he's forced to do a lot of things na hindi siya komportable, diba? So, another point for Naos on that regard on the reliability. And for GameLab Alpha, this is their biggest obstacle to try to topple nga, diba? The rock of the team has been shown dito for Naos Esports, but they have somebody to counter that, and that's Dreech. Kailangan niyang hanapin kung nasaan si Nexi para matalo nila sa kanilang mga T-sided rounds at para ma-disable si Nexi before he can pop off, because once he gets the ball rolling, then Nexi is the type of player that can just keep popping off.
This is like a pretty similar. I'm not quite sure if history is gonna repeat itself. It's just that iba ang gagawa. Pretty similar to what Zol Esports has done into GameLab Alpha. But let's see if there will be something different here. Like what you've said, that they really have to work on those types of stuff na kailangan ma-locate yung mga specific members dito for the side of Naos and try to play around with how can they shut them down in a way through taking apart some of their people here. Like what you said, kailangan manggaling dito na alamin nila nasan si Nexi, paano ba ito mapapatumba in terms of anchoring so that they can penetrate the site much more easily. So, diba?
That's not Papi Chulo.
Yan nga, si Jaros of the Lisa.
Okay.
Ayun, oo.
Naglalaro pala siya ng Valorant. Naglalaro pala si Cardo ng Valorant, nag-omen siya. I think that raises the question kung saan lalabas si Papi Chulo para sa Naos Esports. But we'll have to wait and see para sa susunod na ating mga laban. Pero ngayon, it is Jarso Dalisay in place for Papi Chulo as Naos Esports. They start on the B main push on the CT side. Ja does not locate anybody outside of the smoke, as well as yung magiging recon dart na nilabas agad ni Tesseract. It is interesting that they pair up yung napaka-active nilang players on one side of the map. And now that they translate that from mid to B, now is when they can play the contact this time around.
Yes, definitely. It's really a default positioning here from the start of the round. It's just that the pairings are really nice because you can see how this can work out for them in terms of their advantage there. Like just like now, meron nang nadaprisan dito. It's going to be Boogie, and we are potentially gonna see if maaari ba nilang i-pin down yung mga members natin dito from the side of Naos, from the side of GameLab Alpha. Lalong-lalo na that they will need these sorts of information. But right now, they're acting really passively. Masyado silang tahimik, and they further decided na mukhang sa B-side tayo pupunta. Mukhang wala akong naririnig ni Util ng Killjoy dito. Wala dito si Nexi. Kaya naman, mukhang magkakaroon tayo ng gandang silipan dito. Madadapisan dito sa member natin dito from the side of GameLab Alpha na si Boogie. And I think it is about time for them to go in site. At mukhang madedelay pa sila further because si Ja lang naman na tumatrabaho sa mga members natin dito. And just before we know it, one by one, they're falling apart here at the entrance of the B site. And just like that, with fast executions and rotations here for the side of Naos Esports, well, definitely they will gain the first point of this match.
Keeping themselves cool, calm, and collected as well, not needing to overpush, playing around their own tempo and time. Naos playing around Ja and his aggressiveness to take the early duels head on. Waiting on GameLab to make that first mistake. First step onto B main. Talagang first contact from Tesseract. He jiggled peek para magkaroon ng info tang si Ja. He wasn't sure about where they were coming from. But now that Tesseract has given him that info, dun siya magkakaroon ng parang security to where he wants to take the fight around that CT position. Pops out of the smoke. Takes the fight head on from lane, so he would have two angles to work with dito, especially on their defense. Now that Tesseract has been got online, Ja heads in with the Bulldog. It's 3 quick kills for Naos, and it's just easy pickings para sa duelist ng side. Tesseract picking in with the last frag, ultimately getting off yung 2-0 nila para masimulan na Naos ang napaka-mainit to start. I've been talking about this during the break. If Naos Esports get their early 2-0, then GameLab have an even more difficult time.
Yeah, I mean, you already mentioned that they are momentum-based team for the side of Naos here. So if ever they've got those boost rounds, then this is going to be really beneficial for them, but a con or a disadvantage for the side of GameLab Alpha. And now that it is already a bye round, hopefully the GameLab Alpha can shut them down somehow. Just so you know, mabawasan man lang yung momentum dito for the side of Naos.
Mabagalan sila.
Mabagalan sila kahit papaano, no? Put a leash on these dogs, kumbaga. But now, from what we are seeing here, mukhang mahihirapan nga sila lalo na. They're just popping off here, some heads from here and there from the side of GameLab Alpha. Napatayan naman dito ni Paul X, which is a good start for them. But you are seeing some shifts in terms of positioning here by the side of Naos that might be tremendously crucial for the side of GameLab Alpha, just in case na may magtangka na sumilip sa kanila. Pero magkakaroon ba sila ng advantage dito in terms of numbers? We're about to see because si Boogie mukhang haharapin natin dalawa. Binlight pa nga at mukhang natigil bigla. Pero mukhang meron na nga siya mapapatumba dito. Si Jarso Dalisay pa nga makakuha sa kanya. And that is a good time for them for the side of Naos once again.
One enemy remaining.
They are already struggling to take that A-Shark extremity. They're not winning the fights on mid as well. The pace taken away from GameLab as they were forced to take the early fights from Naos, the ones starting the fights on B main. Kaya nung nag-push sila dun sa mid link, they had ideas to take yung A-short extremity, pero the idea na iisa lang yung kanilang nakitang tao means that Naos had a backup plan. Kung papasok pa rin sila ng A-short, hindi
May
nila
something.
alam na may isa pa, may something na naka-bulldog tong si Wits. Pero it didn't need to go there because Naos were also willing to take the fight onto the mid side with the bulldog from Ja. He was not hesitating to take every fight whatsoever. 9-1-0. And even if he dies right now, may chance siya bumili ng operator. Kaya he's aggressively taking these fights on mid link, knowing that once he dies, then he has access to an even better weapon now that he is in towards the site itself.
They set up the trap and they've been able to activate it beautifully from the side here of Naos from the previous round. But the question is kung magkakaroon ba ng chance dito sa Game Lab Alpha, knowing na puro ships lang ang hawak nila, siraan kanila ekonomiya, pero
Last
ngayon,
player
mukhang si
standing.
Naos, sinisira pa sila
Spike
lalo,
down,
dinudurog
mid.
sila. And yes, now, the lone survivor here is going to be Aeonix, and mukhang magkakaroon pa sila ng interaction dito with his counterpart na si Omen, si Jarso, but kailangan pa rin mag-ingat dito. 50 seconds on the clock. Kahit na may mapitas man lang siya dito, it would be beneficial for their team. Kahit kaunti lang. But they're just gonna wait here momentarily. Iintayin ata na mag-put down dito. Never mind, wala pala yung spike niya. But he's trying to play around with the map.
He's already on top of heaven
yun nga
because of
eh.
the passive angle from Jarso Dalisay.
30
Yeah.
seconds
Closest
left.
threat for
Hindi
him
niya alam.
is all around mid-side. Hindi niya alam. Wala siyang makokoms. Kasi naglakad siya outside of his crosser, outside of his vision. So if he takes the first fight, it has to be one of these people holding down Market and Nexi.
Parang siya naglalaro ng Minesweeper.
Oo nga eh.
Like,
Tapos nakuha niya yung mga Spurs na walang bomba eh.
Ayun na, wala na. May napindot na siyang bomba and goes kaboom. 4-0.
Yeah, it took 2 moves for him.
Ang funny ng design, like every position here is a scent is a bomb
Right here.
or a safe tile. We're not quite
Right
sure.
here.
And now they use the timeout here for the side of Game Lab Alpha, which is good and also expected because they can work on their odds here and the things that they can work on, lalong-lalo na that they can already buy.
Ayun, na-imagine ko na kung ano yung naging comms nung nangyari yun, di ba? Kasi kita mo, si Nexi, ina-explain niya, pero hindi naman nakita ng alarm bot ko yun eh. Wala namang turret na dumaan, tapos nakita yung kalaban.
Dumaan?
Oo, hindi. In turn piece mo yung dumaan.
Yeah.
Walang turret, walang makita yung turret na kalaban, as in, at all. Parang in-explain ni Nexi kung bakit hindi siya yung culprit. Naging defensive eh.
It's
No?
not my fault.
Yeah. So, at this point, si Jarso Dalisay, nakita natin a glimpse kung sino yung, yung nasa camera kanina. Pero feeling ko hindi siya yun eh. Kasi nag-shift yung camera sa ibang tao na inaamoy yung monitor. Ganun ba si Papi Chulo? Ganun ba siya? Yun ang gusto ko malaman.
Yun na lang, gusto ko rin malaman.
Oo nga eh. Kung okay lang kuya, i-move mo yung konti yung monitor eh. Para makita namin.
Iba ng angulo ng slide.
Oo. Para ma-confirm lang namin. Pero feeling ko talaga si Papi Chulo yun. Feeling ko talaga.
Good mustache nga eh, angas ng mustache.
Kaya nga. Ito, si Nexi, namoy niya yung
What? Literal na nakaharap na sa ano niya, no?
Oo.
Nakadukdok na yung mukha niya.
Si
Ano?
Jang nga, tinitingnan niya yung monitor niya.
Mas
parang
malapit
pizza
daw sa
eh.
mukha, mas malakas yung player.
Ganun ba yan?
Pati yung keyboard, no? Mas vertical yung keyboard, mas
Oo.
malakas yung player.
Kaya nakikita nila kalaban nila kasi naaamoy nila.
Hindi lang sila nag-rely sa sound cues, no?
Oo.
May smell cues din.
Yeah, smell cues.
Ay, naka.
Nandito yung game lang.
Nandito si Boogie, sa mid-top, pre.
Lagi naman ang abot nun. Ay, nako. Well, back on the default para sa Game Lab Alpha as we go about our ways. Tapong naaamoy nila yung kalaban nila, narinig na nila yung drone ni
Yeah.
Owen QT. So it does give them info na nasa B main. All cleared up kung gusto na lang i-push on ang Naos
Scanning
Esports
ahead.
on B. But that's all the bait. Nakapag-rotate na agad. Si Ja back on CT. Tapos napakalapit lamang ng KO. But they don't have anybody to disable yung push on from Game Lab as they head on to A-Short to contest the 2 players on
30 seconds
Naos
left.
Esports back on Heaven.
Ngayon na nga, nasimulan na ng entrada dito sa A site natin. Mukhang nagkakaroon na ng palitan dito in terms of casualties for both sides of the teams. And also the best time for them to put the spike down. Lalong-lalo na walang nakabantay. Pero, nako, mukhang may manlilikod. Si Owen Cutie, hindi na alam na nandun. Pero mapapatumba naman ito ni Ja. Pansamantala. So that is already all the waters being calm once again. But mukhang di ata nila malulocate kung nasaan dito si Ja. Mukhang nagkakaroon pa ng patintero dito si Ionix pa lang magpapatumba sa kanya. It's a 1v1 already and I think they are aware of where each other is around. I think never mind. Hindi pala Ionix tumalikod at the worst time possible and it is going to be Tesseract who will be able to end this round.
Welcome back, Tesseract. Mabuhay ka, pabalik dito sa Pilipinas at makita mo ang iyong impact getting the really impactful tracks nga naman dito. Talagang all-out brawl when they were depending on the A site itself, but the fact that they were able to control yung A short natin was all well worth it until Owen Cutie was able to open the door sana sa isa pang magiging map control na meron sila. If they killed the 2 players dun sa A short, then Owen Cutie would have controlled yung mismo extremity na yon. He needed to take off yung mismong nasa loob ng site. And Tesseract would have had a much larger time para malabanan ng mismong nasa site at saka nasa A-short. So buti na lang napadali ang kanyang naging trabaho. Buti na lang Ja was able to get himself more kills doon sa pag-hold ng ating A-short extremity. Trading ng mga community, Boogie inside the site na agad, giving himself the space that he needs, the presence known para sa game lab. Pakuha agad yung spike plant on A, kicking the tempo up, forcing na ang esports to play the 5 versus 5 retake.
Which is a really good shape here for the side of Game Lab Alpha. Wala pang na uubos ng mga utilities na dala, so this is going to be probably beneficial for them. But at the same time, for the side of Nawas here, iniisa-isa kahit sinong magtakita sa kanila ay tutumba ng bagya. And never mind, hindi pala because just before we even know it, everyone's already down on the floor. Naging cemetery yung A-site natin and it is already a 6-0 for this match.
Sayang na sayang kasi Reach had the perfect idea to use yung nag-iisang flash na pwede niyang gamitin in order for him to have a one-way flash. Yung mapa-flash niya yung kalaban niya pero yung sarili niya hindi. However, nakuha na agad ng timing ng Naos para ma-dodge away yung flash kasi alam na nila yung tricks ni Reach dito para magkaroon sila ng heaven control at sinabayan pa nila ng A-short crunch para mapatay yung mga nasa generator and kahit nagkaroon sila ng napakagandang triple peak outside of A main smoke, eh yung Game Lab natalo sa mga fights nila dahil sa heaven control na meron agad ang Naos Esports since both heaven at both A-short at kung saan lumabas ang CT side natin. Retake definitely perfectly timed. However, for Game Lab, they are not done just yet. They still have yung Blade Storm ni Boogie. Wala masyadong weapons ang mga players natin on the team side itself. So Ja will not expect Boogie. He pushes with the dash. He gets himself yung EK or yung Vandal na hawak agad ni Ja doon sa mid side. Ibigay niya agad sa kaibigan ng si Owen Cutie para ma-convert niya into kills itself. Jarso Dalisay on the other side of the map gets a triple kill. Why Nexi just lays the final shot. A 4K for Papi Chulo. 7-0 for the Titans of the PH scene. We have told this story about this game alone. Na eto sana yung Titan versus Titan, pero parang si Levi, etong si Naos Esports cutting the heads off of these two Titans.
Literal, no? I mean, we can see rin kasi na once nagkaroon na ng mga interaction between those two sides of the teams, is naging nakascatter itong mga members natin from Naos. Other than the numbers advantage na meron sila. Which causes Game Lab Alpha na mahirapan lalo kung how they will to pop these heads because there is a possibility na mukhang hindi on point yung kanilang mga gunfights. But not from what we are seeing here, mukhang si Ja, hindi ko-connect ang kanyang mga bala dito and instead si Dritch ang dito sa kanya. Now it's already a 4v5. We're waiting for them to conquer our B site, which is at the moment mukhang possible para sa kanila. They've been able to get the advantage here. Naka-Odin pa itong member natin dito from the side of Naos, but they really have to be careful here by the side of Jarzo because 1v2 is very much doable for him. Merong nakaabang dito sa main natin. I'm not quite sure kung aware siya na merong tao doon, but kailangan niya pa rin mag-ingat just in case na meron pag doon. Makikita niya dito si Paul X and syempre, tamang strafing lang and he will be able to get this and a team ace back for their team.
Tamang nice health lang din si Paul X by the end of things. Scrappy as they were deciding to hold yung mismo site, not needing to defend na lang yung B min extremity, no? Just deciding to put all their marbles into trying to hold it and give up yung ating main position just so that they can defend yung stairs position at yung ating, ano ba yun? Lane para mapatay agad yung ating mga players on Game Lab Alpha. However, the opposite was what happened. They had the perfect plan to overwhelm yung link position. Hindi din sila nagkaroon ng opportunity to take the smoke at hindi din sila nag-flash. Kaya etong agad ang naging catalyst para dito kay Ja. However, now is when he pops off in time. Boogie shut down from the Blade Storm itself. Ja decides to use yung blades na lamang niya. Not needing to buy the gun for his team para magkaroon siya ng operator mamaya. Lockdown in place for Game Lab Alpha. They decide to take matters into their own hands while they also push towards the aim in extremity while also waiting for the short push while Owen Beauty comes out. Wins! Gets a double transfer. Game Lab Alpha dismantled, not waiting for the A short push. Punished by the IGL. It's all on Aeonix as Nexi will transfer back towards heaven, waiting for the perfect time para ma-double pick agad with Jarso Dalisay. But it is all on Aeonix this time. He's known to become one of the biggest brain players on Game Lab. But it is all on patience, all in timing.
All on timing indeed, because that is actually a good use for the dark covers here. They force them to try and offer rotate, but mukhang
30
dito lang
seconds
sila pumunta sa tree area natin because they would most likely expect that he would push forward dito sa A site natin at the most worst time possible because wala na siyang oras para mag-adjust or wala na siyang choice kundi mag-pursue sa A-site natin kung sakali. Pero mukhang naghihikutan sila. Sinara niya na ang pinto. Ito na ang hudyat na siya pumunta dito sa A-site natin talaga. 9 seconds. Marami siyang oras para i-put yung spike down pero dalawa ata makikita niya dito. Di niya i-expect. But still, with the distance, mukhang pasok sa perimeter na makikita pa rin siya nito ni Nexi and they've been able to clean it up just like that.
Yeah, just sama-sama na lang sa pag-retake niya against the last player na si Aeonix. But well-placed time para kay Wits para magkaroon siya ng kanyang moment doon sa heaven side. Triple kill is gaining a lot of control doon sa gunfights niya. And I like that they're taking it a really, really controlled pace kasi he's not the type of player dati. Kung saan nasa Bren siya, he was one of the more aggressive players. And now he has matured into this sort of player na talagang playing around the tempo of his own teammates. Hindi na siya nag-iisa sa paglalaro niya. Ngayon, kasama na niya si Nexi. Ngayon, kasama na niya yung isa sa mga napaka-smart na players natin for the local scene, which is also molding onto his own. Talagang parang nahawaan na agad ng maturity itong si Wits now that he has become one of the father figures dito for now esports. Back into the default plat we go. Game Lab Alpha trying to control again yung mid side, leaving Boogie to be the only guy to be the aggressor onto the mid-bottom area, waiting for Ja to make his own move as he aggresses back onto the A main position. Game Lab Alpha aiming to pull the trigger, and now they do.
Parang abangan lang yung nangyayari dito. Nako, di pa tumama yung mga bala dito ni Boogie galing sa sheriff niya. Pero mukhang nag-iintay si Ja dito kung sino man nagsisilip. Matatanggalan ng ulo. Pero, ng bahagya. Dahil sa Aeonix pa, nagpatumba sa kanya. And there is already heavy saturation dito sa A-site entrance natin na maaaring mag-pursue dito. Si Game Lab bigla. But, 50 seconds on the clock. Sana hindi nila gawin uli yung mga 13-second execute nila where time is going to be really difficult for them na mahirap naman talaga kalabanin ng oras mga kaibigan. Pero ngayon, A-site na ata talaga ang kanila pupuntahan ng Fury, kanilang inactivate na. Magandang timing na paglapag ng dark covers dito and there is already the time where they might be in control of the site. Pero nako, with our creepers na nanggagaling dito from the side of Knuckles, may mga matapatumba na rito at hindi nila magagawin. Kailangan nila gawin. 2v2, ako isa na lang ang naiiwan dito si Nexi na lang. 1v2 na rin sa possibility na ma-play niya ito on his hands with the lockdown already being put down here dito sa ating Evans area. Nako, kailangan talaga lumabas dito na ng side ng Game Lab Alpha. Wala silang choice kundi lumabas at hayaan dito ang A-side natin. Pero with the numbers advantage mukhang kakayanin pa nila. And yun na nga, we will be able to get this round done for them. And it is going to be a good sign of life for them. Sana ma-8-4 nila.
Reconciling yung naging mistake nila sa pag-hold over at A main, not needing to push outside of the smoke kasi katapos nila kunin yung control of the side. Now they have counted kung sino dapat yung unang mag-pick dito. Even though they had a really good conversion dun sa A short push, and the fact that they were also getting the kills dito from Paul X, the guy who went from being a duelist to being the killjoy for the team has matured on his own as well. Getting the timing to get the double kill for them to get a footing into this matchup. They need that so badly. Momentum building up para sa Game Lab Alpha. And they need to push on onto A main, but a well-executed Molly has given Game Lab Alpha the window to take the head on. 2 kills for Boogie, has now tried to fight back. Ja back onto Heaven, waiting inside the smoke, just trying to make some space para magkaroon agad ng defense ang Naos. But for Game Lab, it's all about patience, all about timing, waiting for Ja, trying to get the kill. Double out from the Jet player of Naos. They convert through with the defense, and it's all on Fall X from the duelist. He tries to make his presence known, but Ja has shown that he is the guy to look out for. 4K for Ja.
And yes, it is going to be a really powerful round here for the side of Naos because of how dominant Ja has been able to show himself in this round. Ginawa niyang ballroom yung A site natin. Sumayaw-sayaw siya doon. Lahat na patumba niya. Kahit sinong makapartner niya is nawawala sa beat because of how good he is. And this leads us to one more round remaining here for Game Lab Alpha to try and gain a point for this half. But Naos is not letting them do so. Blaze Storm natin already activated here in the hands of Boogie, and we are waiting them for further interactions at the mid area since this is the closest they would ever be. But just as he is trying to go upward and execute, Naos has been able to just go running down to the rest of the members here on the mid area. And yes, it is going to be Ionix who's gonna try and go upward and exit. Pero napatid siya dun, pre. Lungkot nun.
Sayang na sayang.
Switching sides.
And they had the chance, all the momentum sana from the 2 rounds that they gotten for themselves. But now as are hot on their heels this time around. Ja has been activated. All the calls have been clear for Wits. Sama-sama ang Naos sa lahat ng naging execution nila dito on the CT side. And the fact that they were willing to take the fight head-on towards the mid side is a good sign of their coordination as a team. The synergy from the core, well bit from their foundation pa lang, and now added with the stability from Nexi and the cool calm support from Tesseract has given this team a lot more layers to work with. For Game Lab Alpha, they have a lot of time dito, but it is running out, especially now that they are down 8 rounds against Naos Esports.
They've got a killing machine, they've got a diamond shield. What more you could ever ask here for the side of Naos? They are really buoyant. The more pressure that Game Lab is trying to exert on them, the more Naos has been able to fight back and go become more resistant. Just like what we're seeing here. Na ngayon, dalawa na lang naiwan dito for the side of Game Lab Alpha. They are trying to up on further skills here for the side of Game Lab Alpha, but talagang mas marami ang napipitas dito ni Ja na sinusuportahan pa dito ni Nexi at ng iba niya mga kasama dito for the side of Naos. And now that they gained a lot of opportunities in our previous round, they've got a lot of momentum. All they have to do is to just power it up, just start the engine, and go further and farther from there. Lalong-lalo na they're on the attacking side. This is going to be really difficult for Game Lab Alpha to get back upon just because of how powerful Naos is from the start until now and potentially until the end.
And now I'm questioning if kung talagang okay lang sa kanila na mag-save ngayon. Nakatatlong sheriff lamang ang Game Lab, pero at this point, you have to just put all your chickens in one basket na agad eh. Talagang lalaban lamang sila sa mga sheriff, pero ang kalaban na nila naka-bulldog na agad. At kapag naibigay mo na yung round na ito, matatapos na agad, naka-match point na ang Naos. At ang Game Lab mauubusan na ng mga lifeline na sa pagtagal lamang ng ascent map na ito. Isang round na lamang, baka maubos pa nga ang tsansa for their CT side as a whole. A short. Being the focus again for Naos as they try to split them off. Hindi pa sila nagkakaroon ng split over A main, but for Ja, all he needed is to take the mid-bottom head on and try to get the spray dito kay Dreach, and it is successful. 5 versus 1. And Ionix, the guy yet again, has been forced his hand as Ja will get the second frag for his team and possibly the last round for Game Lab Alpha.
I mean, we can see the possibility that they want to offer a buy round here because is the way that they can execute better here for the side of Game Lab Alpha, but at the same time,
Focus na eh.
Player
having the
standing.
match point really just narrow down your options and your movement because of the
Yeah.
pressure eh.
Yeah.
One small mistake will end this match, and we all know that this is just a single eliminations, diba? So this is going to be pretty difficult here for the side of Game Lab Alpha. It's going to be pretty bad, but let us see what they've got in store for us at the last moment. Ngayon na meron tayong nakikita dito, sinusubukan nila madali pero hindi nila magagawa because that was way pushing further. They're trying to push it further. Mukhang magkakaroon na tayo ng patayan dito sa entrada. Hindi na yun
Found them.
even i-pursue yung pag-put ng spike dito sa A-site natin because before they even do that, there's a lot of bodies on the floor already dito sa A-site natin. Pero susubukan pa rin ng Game Lab lumaban. May puso pa rin sila, tumitibok pa, may pulso pa, humihinga pa. Pero they are barely living at this current time. So now, all odds. They are aware
One
of the
enemy
stake. The pressure might be consuming them, and this is going to be the end
Attackers.
for Game Lab Alpha. And Naos will be taking this match and be advancing further for our finals.
Nakaslate ng mga kaibigan, it is gonna be Oasis Gaming versus Naos Esports para sa final game natin for this qualifier. And this has not been slated any better at all. Talagang napakalakas at determinado ang Naos Esports na kunin ang spot nila dito. But it was a well-played game from
Yeah.
them. The consistency has been all throughout, and you could see how much Ja wanted to play this on his own terms, diba? Taking every single fight head-on, giving a lot of support from Tesseract, at talagang ginagamit niya yun para magkaroon sila ng kahit anong 1-for-1 dito, which
Yeah.
has been beneficial for every single aspect of Naos's defense. And that showed why Naos has been a behemoth so far. It was their foundation as a whole as a team, but already elevated by the new talent that we have right here. Nexi providing support para sa kanyang Naos Esports squad. And he's shown to gel really well with the team right now. He is reliable in his own pact, pero kung kailangan niyang mag-aggress, sasama siya kapag kakailangan.
Parang ano yun, no? Wala tayong siege sa team ng Naos, pero alam mong may sword and shield.
Oo.
Kasi nandun si Ja, nandun si Nexi, and the rest of the team has been able to actually use the rest of the utilities or rather the rest of their presence para mag-contribute sa pagkapanalo nila, and that is actually really well executed here for the side of Naos. Hindi na, parang ano na siya eh, no? How can I say this? There is little to no lumps and bumps. It's
Yeah.
just very much polished how they've been able to end this, start this. Their journey, their process is just really on peak. And yes, they really offer it as a whole unit.
Well, to be fair to Game Lab Alpha, this definitely was a change of pace for them since they kind of changed their roles around a little bit with what I've been used to. Usually si Boogie yung nilalagay nila as a killjoy if he wanted to
Yeah.
flex around his role. You put
They
Paul
changed
X on the
something
Jet,
din na.
pero ngayon they're the ones who switched their roles around and they wanted to change a pace, diba? Pero it worked out for a few rounds. We saw like potential in how Paul X was going to provide support for his team or provide stability for the team, but in the long run, we did see a difference in how the coordination was and how well Naos Esports
Yeah.
has gelled as a team and how much they have proven to be the better team for the day right now sa semifinals natin overall. And yun, alam mo, kung may sacrifice tayo ng Game Lab Alpha ngayon, we have been gifted, blessed with a banger mamaya sa ating
Parang
final
ano,
game.
sapakan ng magkuya.
Oo nga eh. Sapa ka na magkapatid. Kumbaga.
Yeah.
Para malaman kung sino ang magiging paborito ni Mama, dito natin makikita after ng break. Pero bago tayo umalis, we would like to thank our official sponsors for Predator League 2023, Predator Gaming, Intel, and Planet 9. Huwag kayong aalis mga kaibigan dahil pagbalik natin, may papakita na kung mananalo ang Naos against Oasis Gaming. Don't go anywhere.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
Your fault. Stay down.
One enemy remaining.
It was you or me.
My ult's ready.
Ten seconds left.
Die.
With the Predator Helios 3D15 Spatial Labs Edition.
The 13th gen Intel Core i9 HX processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 GPU, and our custom-engineered Aeroblade cooling, alongside liquid metal over the CPU.
Delivering intuitive interaction and immersive sensation through technologies like advanced sensory solutions, optical display, and the latest real-time rendering technologies.
With the Helios Neo 16. 13th gen Intel Core processor? Check. GeForce RTX 40 series graphics? Of course. As for cooling, the Helios Neo includes Predator's custom-engineered cooling solutions listed here, with our unique Aeroblade fans and liquid metal thermal grease. Predator Triton 17X laptop. This powerhouse features a GeForce RTX 4090 with a max TGP of 175 watts, the Acer Nitro XC452 CUV at 44.5 inches with a 32:9 ultra-wide aspect ratio and 1500R curvature. Predator Orion X. The Intel Core i9 13900KS Special Edition processor boasts 24 cores, a flagship NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. It is the smallest PC that features this GPU. Upgrade your gaming experience with the Predator Orion X.
With the Predator Helios 3D15 Spatial Labs Edition.
The 13th gen Intel Core i9 HX processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 GPU, and our custom-engineered Aeroblade cooling, alongside liquid metal over the CPU.
Delivering intuitive interaction and immersive sensation through technologies like advanced sensory solutions, optical display, and the latest real-time rendering technologies.
With the Helios Neo 16. 13th gen Intel Core processor? Check. GeForce RTX 40 series graphics? Of course. As for cooling, the Helios Neo includes Predator's custom-engineered cooling solutions listed here, with our unique Aeroblade fans and liquid metal thermal grease. Predator Triton 17X laptop. This powerhouse features a GeForce RTX 4090 with a max TGP of 175 watts, the Acer Nitro XC452 CUV at 44.5 inches with a 32:9 ultra-wide aspect ratio and 1500R curvature. Predator Orion X. The Intel Core i9 13900KS Special Edition processor boasts 24 cores, a flagship NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090. It is the smallest PC that features this GPU. Upgrade your gaming experience with the Predator Orion X.
With the Predator Helios 3D15 Spatial Labs Edition.
The 13th gen Intel Core i9-HX processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 GPU, and our custom-engineered Aeroblade cooling, alongside liquid metal over the CPU.
Delivering intuitive interaction and immersive sensation through technologies like advanced sensory solutions, optical display, and the latest real-time rendering technologies.
With the Helios Neo 16. 13th gen Intel Core processor? Check. GeForce RTX 40 series graphics? Of course. As for cooling, the Helios Neo includes Predator's custom-engineered cooling solutions listed here. With our unique Aeroblade fans,
Grab your snacks and grab your favorite drink kasi ito na ang pinakamainit na laban para sa ating magiging susunod na qualifiers. Ito nga pala ang Predator League 2023. Ako nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Mochi at kami yung casters nyo para sa susunod na ating best of one. It will be Oasis Gaming versus Naos Esports, the battle for the ages. Hindi ito David versus Goliath story. Goliath versus Goliath tayo ngayon.
Yun nga, sino nga yung favorite ni Mama? Dito na malalaman yan sa last na match natin for today. And malamang sa malamang, sawa na kayo sa mukha namin. Dahil previously sa apat na qualifiers natin, previously kami ang inyong kasama at hanggang ngayon at hanggang sa dulo kami magkakasama nyo for the end of these qualifiers. But at the same time, hindi nyo dapat pagsawaan yung mga teams na meron dito. Because lagi silang merong bagong inihahatid, may bago silang nilalapag, may mga bago silang ina-adjust, may mga bago silang mga ina-execute, which is just very much perfect for us because this just means that they are evolving, they are innovating, and it is very much obvious for these teams na gustong-gusto talaga nilang manalo. They are hungry for it.
They have played 8 times in their history against each other, mga kaibigan. Pero lagi na lang may bago na ihahatid ng pareho nating teams natin, whether it is in their strats, in their lineups, but most importantly, we see a different outcome of the story. Talagang ngayon na ang bagong chapter sa parehong history ng Naos versus Oasis Gaming. And if we take a look at the tale of the tale, talagang makikita natin na talagang iba na yung environment natin ngayon. Kasi nasa bago na tayong meta at may bago na tayong mga faces. It is going to be Tesseract at saka Nexi contributing to the story. But Nexi has been a familiar face on both sides of the spectrum. He was both on Oasis Gaming and Naos in their history. But now he's playing on the latter side. And will that play in towards the psychology factor para sa Naos Esports? For Oasis Gaming, then they have to play to make sure na hindi yun yung mangyayari.
Parang pre ganito maglaro yan, alam ko na yun, ganito
diba?
gagawin yun, no? Parang may ganun na si Nexi, na vibe. Kasi somewhat familiar na siya how the inner, what they call the internals of Oasis operate. So this can be a really good advantage for them.
Yeah.
But on the counterpart, Oasis also knows how Nexi plays.
That's true.
So that is going to be a double-edged sword of some sort. Parang na lang, no? Anong card yung kanilang ilalapag knowing kung ano yung laman ng mga barahan na yun?
Oo nga.
Diba? Like, is it everything, all stakes, ay alam na nila? Or would they attempt and try to do another pattern, another combination na hindi i-expect ng counterpart nila? So this is going to be really interesting kasi yun nga, they are familiar, but are they familiar enough?
Yeah, definitely. And we'll be finding that dito sa ating game draft, mga kaibigan. It is split. Matagal ko nang nire-request ito dahil lagi na tayong Haven, lagi na tayong Ascent ngayon. May bago na tayong flavor, mga kaibigan. Naos Esports. A really interesting comp, a double controller with a split map where talagang defender-sided in a lot of cases, no? You want to play the slow tempo, and especially with a double controller comp, you can limit that movement out kapag ang Oasis Gaming ang nagsimula sa T-side natin. Whereas, if Nexi is able to use yung kanyang wall in the perfect time, then that will dissuade yung pag-push ni Kelly S. And he is known to be one of the more aggressive duelists that we have ngayon sa Predator League, diba? So, if you take that away from Kelly S, then more often, he's gonna be relying on his teammates to push in with him. Pero, Ngayon kasi, hindi yun yung nakikita natin ng Kalies eh. He hasn't been slowing down ever since he started ngayon sa ating Predator League qualifiers. If he can get this momentum ngayon, then he is a big pawn dito sa laban natin against Naos.
Parang ano no, ang naging tiebreaker lang nila doon is yung kanilang Sentinels, which is specifically kay Savvy, he has the Cypher, and as well as onto Wits is si Sage, no? I think I am quite familiar with how Savvy plays in terms of the Cypher. No, parang dati lang usually parang siya lagi yung raise during the Corrigid times. Ngayon, he tried to traverse into a different one. He is on the Sentinel right now, but not only that, na kahit na Sentinel siya, you expect him to be passive? No way in heck that he will be. But now, they might offer our B site. Kung napaparamdam na sila, it's just that the poison count is there, but they do not care. Pero saktong-sakto sa kanila pag-activate ito, papasok sila dito. Pero yun nga lang, bago pa nila mailapag ang kanilang spike, and meron ng mga mapapatumba, and it is going to be 2 more people remaining here for the side of Naos, which is going to be drastically difficult for them. Kahit na meron silang pagdagdag ng lifeline dito, kailangan talaga nilang ingatan dito kung meron pa silang mga mapipitas on the side of Oasis. This is definitely beneficial for them, but at the same time, mukhang medyo mahirap, lalong-lalo na they've got all the locations secured here for the side of Oasis.
Post plant positioning, and definitely playing on the tempo for Oasis Gaming. Already noting yung pagbaba nila from heaven as Tesseract will lay the headshot. But Oasis Gaming have all the stable notes. Talagang, the utility usage has been of note dito for Oasis Gaming so far. Started with Wild Oreo and how he puts his Poison Orb at the very thick of the middle doon sa B main extremity. It gives them space para makapag-push sila without hesitating. At it also kind of cancels yung magiging early info na pwedeng gamitin nila, which normally a lot of teams would do. Early push shot, jiggle peek para malaman ko nandun yung kalaban nila, push back and just use yung slow orb na pwedeng gamitin sana ni Wits, but they weren't given an opportunity to do so. Talagang they were willing to take the fight head-on after the Poison Orb. And that also gave momentum for Oasis Gaming kasi after that, they pushed onto the Heaven side. They relied on the long-range gunfights, which 50-50 laid into the favor of Oasis Gaming, especially with the tempo that they've set forward, especially with how well they used their util as well.
Not only that, no, from the current time, we have seen some changes in terms of positioning dito. They expected that Oasis will be heading towards the A side natin, which very much made B side available for the side of Oasis. But, nako, sabi ito na nga sinasabi natin, hindi porket nasa Sentinel yan, mapapatahimik nyo yan. Just before we even know it, dalawa na ang kanya napitas dito, which gave them the mad advantage in terms of numbers. Isa lang naman yung diferensya, but with the guns na meron sila ngayon, it is still very much impactful. But mukhang meron pa rin nagmoronda dito sa mid area natin. Nagbabalak ata na mag-flag just in case na meron potential na makatch off guard niya yung ilang mga membro dito for the side of Naos and end the round much more earlier. It would be much more beneficial for them. And ngayon they're opting for the post-plan situation here. Kung saan, kitang-kita nila kung saan sila pupunta, but I guess hindi na sila mangangahas na pumalag dito from the side of Naos. Ayaw nilang magbigay ng dagdag na creds for Oasis, and they'll just opt for the explosions na nandito para naman makuha nila yung dagdag credits for the next round.
Yeah, and not give those credits to the players on Oasis Gaming, diba? No need to give them plus 300 credits sa kada kill. And no need to give them the benefit of the doubt din dito. However, it's too hard to say that statement na ngayon kasi for how they played the pistol round, they've been rewarded with 2. Javi 8k again with the patience play. Just reminded as the guy that they need to look out for kapag magro-rotate pa lang sila.
Yeah.
And he has conditioned them to play that slow game kapag magro-rotate nga naman. So, will that impact the next round? We'll find out. Wait. Early ball, Kelly S on top at talagang nakuha niya agad yung ramp position para may map control ang Oasis Gaming. Early ball, again with the smoke, Nexi will get first blood, denying yung early space control na gagawin sana ni Kelly S. However, they sacrificed yung kanyang buhay para makuha ng Oasis Gaming yung ramp control. Talagang Heaven will be their focus.
Maganda na sana yung simula ng pag-press W doon ni Kelias. It's just that he extended too far, which causes denies. But we are about to see if there are potential trades dito na magagaling from the side of Oasis. Because dalawa na ang nasa-defense. And mukhang magkakaroon nga ng maraming mga bodies dito. And it will be a good play here from the side of Nexi. Mukhang mag-rotate na sila dito sa ating B-side. Dalawa na naiiwan sa kanila. But I don't think na i-expect nila na nandito si Papi Ulo. Nako, ayun na nga. Ito ang nangyayari dito. Nagkakaroon tayo ng mga further eliminations na equalize pa ang numbers natin. And they're
One
trying
enemy
to best
remaining.
to secure additional hands. And that is what they're doing right here, right now, Wits. Mukhang
30
mag-iingat
seconds
siya
left.
dito. Trying to secure
Five
everything. And
seconds.
kanina meron siya, pero nagparamdam siya. Nako, sayang naman yun. And that is the time where Savi popped out and say hello and goodbye kaagad. With a 3-0 dito for the side of Oasis. And we have already mentioned that Oasis
Noasis?
Pinagsama?
Na Oasis.
For the side of Naos here is like a momentum-based team.
Yeah.
So I feel like Oasis is trying their best to prohibit them from gaining that momentum, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It is interesting na miss agad ng timing tong si Tesseract. Since siya dapat yung magkakat ng rotation doon sa pagpunta on B Heaven. Lost it because he wanted to use his dog first to gain info, to gain some stability on towards that B Heaven position, sacrificing yung kung double kill na saan niyang kukunin just so that he could have info for the team, which I could definitely see as a really good thing for them. Pero just gave them the window to take B Heaven and aggress onto Papi Chulo. First blood agad galing kay Javi 8K. Unfortunate, papunta dun sa IGL na si Wits, pero knowing him, he will bounce back, especially through time. And Naos have shown that they can prove that, especially with how well they're able to mend themselves in very high pressure situations like this one. Oasis Gaming double peak with another from Javi 8K. This guy is on one right now, as now Esports, they're falling one by one, but Papi Chulo as Tesseract with the shot, giving a window para sa Oasis Gaming and leaving it all kay Tesseract, yung welcomer para sa Now Esports as he tries to fight against all odds, but Marky will shut him down.
I wonder how big it would be kung kumonekta yung shot ni Tesseract doon. Baka naipanalo pa nila yon. But it is going to be a 4-0. What happened already happened here. It's just unfortunate that these terms of gunfights, meron ng may hudyat na merong posibilidad na maipanalo yan in house. It's just that hindi siya sumapat. But still, it's a good thing kasi they try to shut down their economy somehow, na force silang bumili ng mga bagong mga baril here for the side of Oasis. But hanggang kailan ito sasapat? Parang nag-e-exit pa rin dito si Kelly S. Gusto mo rin mag-press W pero hindi niya na ata daw uulitin yun. Alam niya na, he learned his lesson from before. But they will try to rotate towards this civilian area natin na meron pa rin mga nag-aabang just in case na merong mag-power push sa kanila. There is a lot of utilities na nakakalat dito from their Viper. And so, this tries them to calm them down. You know what? Sige, delay namin kayo. Marami pa naman yung oras, diba? So, dyan lang kayo.
Yeah, dyan lang kayo. Habang nakalabas na agad yung smokes for both sides. As it dissipates, it gives space and window for Oasis to put down their own util. Habang ina-aggress nila, binigyan nila yung B Heaven. Interesting kasi pwede nilang gamitin yung B main as some sort of catalyst, a position na hindi pa makiklear agad ng Oasis. But good thing for the T side kasi Vents yung na-choose nilang position to hold back upon since they still have 1 minute to close up on a decision that they made for themselves. It relies on how well Draxi can pull this out. Jado, an assassin into the good night. Naos, great timing, finding Draxi. The IGL is put to the ground. Ginamit na agad ang Seekers para malaman kung saan manggagaling ang rat para sa Naos. But Nexi has capitalized on every single momentum that Oasis is trying to build upon. A flawless victory for Naos. Not needing to regress, only needing that one frag out from Ja to gain every single momentum that they needed. Brought back by Naos Esports.
Love their coordination on that one. It's not just because of the utilities. No, I mean, yes, the Seekers does help, but it all boils down into how they've been able to segregate their opponents and as well as their gunfights. It's really pristine, really clean, really accurate, and this made them accumulate the first point na kailangan nila in order to gain their momentum back somehow.
Yeah, and they need that first point of momentum. Kailangan talaga for Naos. They've shown their first signs of stability, but how long can that hold? Happy conditioning yet again yung CT side ng Naos that he will always be a nuisance on one point of the map. And for the past 3 rounds, he's always been A main. So for the other side, that's where Oasis Gaming want to push upon all towards B main. Given up by the Heaven player that is Papi Chulo. But while Oasis Gaming has set up their post plants, now Esports are looking towards either backstabbing them or just trying to relegate every single point doon sa ating Heaven position. That's one on towards Javi 8K. They took out the lurker and they don't have anybody to take that chance to take the fight head on sa likod nila. Oasis Gaming fighting doon pa lang sa ating alley. Good shot out from Wild Oreo. Taking down tong si Jab. Tesseract already getting the 2-for-1.
Oh my, really love the adjustments na ginagawa dito ni
One
Oasis.
enemy
So,
remaining.
can touch up upon, pero after na ng mga eliminations na nangyayari dito because of how high intensity it is, they've been able to clear that out wonderfully here with the crossfire positioning. You know what? I just really want to point out kung gaano kalinis yung naging positioning here ni Kali S. Kasi nung umpisa, or rather kanina, nakikita natin na press W siya, parang iwan lahat, pati yung ka-teammate mo. Ganun yung ginawa niya doon, di ba? Pero ngayon, he's trying to slow down for a bit, clearing every single nook and cranny na meron dito sa B-site natin bago mag-extend or mag-spread out yung mga members natin dito from the side of Oasis. And kinaccumulate nga yung suporta dito ni Wild Oreo. And I feel like that is very much impactful because they cleared, other than the fact that they cleared out every area, is that meron silang mataas na trade-off possibility na hindi nila masyado nagawa nung round na nawala sa kanila. And I feel like it is safe to say that they can adapt really, really quickly.
Yeah, and that speaks to how well they've been molded by Oasis Gaming's, I believe, environment, diba? They're the squad na has been known to be nurturing yung mga talents natin locally, and they have been patient through time. Kalias has been with the team for, I believe, like a month or two now.
Yeah.
And he has shown a lot of growth, a lot of
Stonks.
evolution, stonks, kumbaga.
Nag-stonk
They
siya.
invested in him, and they took a chance to take this guy as one of their flexes, one of their duelists.
Yeah.
And now that he's become their main duelist,
They got a good ROI.
definitely.
Diba?
Pinakita nila agad ngayon sa laban natin for Oasis Gaming as he has shown good patience and discipline sa kanilang post-plant. Pero will that hold on? Especially with Naos Esports trailing behind the 4 rounds in. Yeah. Again with the smoke. Yan ang ginagamit niya yung utility agad from Nexi for him to claim real estate. But for Oasis Gaming, it has all been about timing and patience for them as well. Just to try to aggress through dito kay Jan. Hindi nila alam, 4 ang kalaban nila dun sa mid. Kelly S has to back off, but in return, they're able to fight up tong si Wild Oreo. However, may heal back up tong si Kelly S. So back up to life, babalik lang sa laban. Katulad nito. Ultimate out tong si Witz, gagamit ni showstopper si Kelly S, and it hits the mark. Jarso, the Lisai, will try to get himself the double, and he is successful.
Nako, pa-point out ko pa lang sana yung availability ng showstopper dito ni Kali S, and they've been able to use it to bring down a couple of members here by the side of Flowers. But it's not stopping there because Roxy has been able to secure this guy out. Tesseract, hindi na siya makakapag-advance forward dito kasama ng kanyang mga alaga because it is already up to
Spike
the main
planted.
members here from both sides of the teams, healers and controllers. We are gonna see if there is
Last
a
player
possibility for
standing.
them to advance forward because ngayon,
One enemy
malakas na
remaining.
iwan dito. Naku, napakalutong ng kanyang pagpatay dito kay M. Pero kita naman natin, yung kumpare natin dito, si Chong na si Draxi. Tukhang, meron kaya siyang time? Meron ba siyang posibilidad na i-counter itong counterpart niya na si Papi Chulo dahil sinusubukan niya pa rin i-defuse, binibait out niya kung sakali man nasisilip o magpa-pop out yung ulo dito ni Draxi. Pero nako, the pressure is on, the time is ticking. Wala na ba pero si Jackson pa rin ang nakatapos nun.
May time ba siya?
May time ba siya?
May time ba siya?
Titingnan natin kung may time ba.
Oh!
It is a clutcher for the side of Jarso. Napakalinis ng execution niya with a 4K as well. 2-5, everyone. That is a good play from this Astra.
It was chaotic when it started on sa mid-side, but peace and tranquility was what Papi Chulo offered to the table. Well done. Isolated picks. Nakuha niya agad yung backside player, and even though Draxi played that almost perfectly, the one shot that he needed to try to kill off tong si Papi Chulo was inside the smoke. Kaso sa pag-move niya sa loob ng smoke, yung inaccuracy niya, hindi siya naging perfect, hindi nagland yung bullet where it needed. While Papi Chulo provided his own stability, crouching, getting himself the headshot dito kay Draxi. It was a high-pressure situation, but Papi Chulo lives and breathes high-pressure situations.
Grabe yung mga, ganun kalaki yung impact na pwedeng gawin ng mga micro-shifts in terms of position.
Yeah.
Like, literal na umusod lang siya ng, ewan ko, like 1 feet? 1
Yeah.
foot? Like, ganun nakabilis or ganun kalaki yung naging impact niya na to the point na even if you tried to go for the pre-spraces, it didn't turn out well for him.
And the fact that he also keeps yung cosmic divide niya dito, it just means that Naos have another really high impact ultimate.
Yeah. Wow.
He could have used that dun sa previous round. Draxi
Actually.
wouldn't have like, the opportunity or the info para gamitin yung util niya.
Actually, but no.
Ba't hindi niya ginamit?
Hindi ko rin alam.
Why?
I mean, I think it's already the pressure caving yun na wala eh. Kailangan
Yeah.
na namin puro gunfights na lang siguro. No?
Oo.
But nakita naman natin kay gano'ng karami yung mga nilatag yung utilities doon. Nandun yung gravity wheel, nandun yung pungkas niya, but it didn't work out. But there is going to be, they should have a hard reset here, lalong-lalo na sobrang init ng round na yon. And hopefully that Oasis and both these sides can actually navigate through that. But nako, yung cross natin dito in the intersections, parang, the Great Wall of Toxic Wall, the Great Wall of Poison, na meron dito sa A site natin. Kailangan na lang isipin mabuti, like, tama ba tong dinadaanan ko? Tama ba tong pinatutunguhan ko? Ito ba yung direksyon na para sa amin talaga? Mananalo ba kami dito? Mamaya magkamali kami? Ang dahil mo kailangang i-overthink, isipin ng bahagya, pero it all comes down to execution. We are waiting for these players from the side of Oasis to advance forward, but there is still a chance naman na mag-rotate sila, but I think not anymore because meron nang nawala, merong napatumba. This is already a trade-off here between the two sides. Tamang free fire na lang, pero mukhang madedelay pa sila because nakataas pa rin mga wall natin. Meron pang mga napapatumba dito through the wall, through the smoke. They've been able to get some casualties from here and there, which is a good advancement for them, but 30 seconds on the
30
clock. They
seconds
got
left.
no choice but now go forward, but they've been able to secure wits as well. Hindi siya naka-atras dito despite na gustuhin niya, pero meron pa rin nakatambay sa screens. Nako, mag-ingat ka dito, Papi Chulo, pero ngayon mukhang bumabawi pa. All that thing na lang ang nangyayari dito in terms of their positioning. Nasaan na? Kaya ang isang member nila dito,
10
mukhang
seconds.
may maiiwan pa. 10
enemy
seconds na lang.
remaining.
Meron siyang makikita dito, mapapatumban niya, and that's going to be 5 seconds more. He's been able to put the spike down already, and this
Spike
is going to be
planted.
up to Nexi.
For the longest time, Nexi was nestling doon sa ating mid, but every single member on NAS except for him has died. Kaya siya na lang dapat ang savior na spot pa nga ni Javi 8K. Kaya babalik na lang siya towards the safety of his teammate. Wrapping around dun sa ating elbow, Nexi just taking his perfect timing. Sama-sama sila lahat. Talagang Oasis do not want to give an inch to Nexi as he knows that he gets the first shot, he gets the first kills, and that is everything for Oasis Gaming. Marky taps in the shot. A triple for Oasis. A 6-round win for their D side. And that patience paying off for them, which proved to be Naos's undoing. The fact that Nexi was in mid for the longest time means that they had no molly para malimit yung push nila dun sa ramps. Oasis Gaming played off of aim, played off of patience, and that patience paid off for them. But now as esports, off of their own patience dun sa mid, locked them outside of that A-heaven position.
Saktong-sakto yung pag-change din ng site dun yung Marky, which is really, really good for the side of Oasis. This already plays down na, it's not just the skill, timing, and luck plays here as well. It's also a factor how you can win these rounds. And Oasis, mukhang nasa kanila ang timing and yung luck at this current time. But we are about to see kung meron pa rin chance na bumawi dito si Naos, lalong-lalo na wala silang first team mag-up or save here. They've got pistols still, and I think it is quite far for them to destroy the economy of Oasis because so far they're on a streak.
Yeah. A wild streak for Oasis, which forces Nas to play the eco round, the eco buy, showing that they need to pull off something weird. Kung gusto nilang ilason ang Oasis Gaming ngayon, they can't give this round up, as it gives them a really strong shift of momentum dito for Oasis Gaming. It's not looking good for them. Ngayon, crossfire for Nexi, as well as for Wits, but off of this wall, they're just waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and with that Seeker, that pulls the trigger. But Wits able to get si Kelly S. It means they get themselves a 1-for-1. That's really good on the side of Naos, but for Wits, he has done for the side of Oasis, but Dorso Dalisay is not done! It is another from Papi Chulo. He gave a 4K for Naos, and he gave a 51 ngayon.
On point yung mga crosshairs nila doon. Like, every single one na pumasok dito sa e-site natin, tanggal ulo, sigurado. 101% here are the side of Naos. That's such a powerful play. Nabawi yung clutch doon ng Astra natin from Oasis kanina. And that is a really good one. It is a 3-6 already. It is looking bright here for the side of Naos. It's a 3-point difference after all. And this is going to be a fight waiting to happen here. Parang painit lang ng painit yung labang natin. Ngayon, napapaso na tayo. Nagpapawisan na tayo. And I'm sure that our players, mukhang nga, warm up pa lang nila yun.
Parang binigyan nila si Naos ng time para mag-recuperate, reset. Pero yung nag-iisang consistency na nakita natin so far is itong si Jarso Dalisa na si Papi Chulo. And if he can pull off these miracles, then maybe everybody else on Naos can follow suit. Oasis Gaming playing the patience game head-on. Tesseract. Early usage of the dog. Only spotting nga itong si Wild Oreo, pero baka from the sound cue pa lang, narinig at naamoy niya ang iba pang mga players on Oasis Gaming. So Tesseract back on the site. Waiting for Oasis Gaming to make their move, and with that pulls the trigger, that pulls the kill dito kay Kelly as a double for Tesseract. As the welcome door out for Oasis has been shut down on them. It is all on the last player na si Draxi. All with a sheriff in hand, down to low HP. Nakuha ka pa nga ang rifle, pero pagka-peek niya, nandun si Papi Chulo. Greets him with open arms. Out from the fourth round win of Naos Esports.
That angle is very much powerful, no? It is just really odd for me na nilapag nila yung Trailblazer. They didn't even secure someone. They didn't know that this fleet is gonna come here dito sa B-side natin. But instead, they just managed it through. Just a gunfight. Parang ginawa lang nilang mga aimbots mga bots tong mga members natin here from the side of Oasis. They pop their heads one by one.
Parang nag-aim labs lang yun, no?
Yun nga, parang nag-aim labs lang sila. And it all comes down to the simplicity of the round, which is really wonderful, by the way, because, you know, that simplicity tells a lot.
Kasi it just came down to aim, which is what Valorant has been all about, despite like all the abilities in its own. But with
game.
just an aim game, barilan lamang. You forget at the end of the day, despite all the abilities, all the walls that you can put down, all the smokes, you shoot heads, you kill them.
You win. Yes. Mukhang meron atang gustong patayin din dito ang Naos. Sana po atras ng bahagya dito. Para natin si Reyes. Pero there is going to be the presence here ng ating Sky at the Heaven area.
I know exactly
tower
where you
natin.
are.
Yun nga lang, because of Neural Theft, ito si Savvy, which is going to be crucial here for the side of Naos because it gives them an idea kung ano yung mga lugar na pwede nalang puntahan at iwasan. Kaya naman mukhang sa A-site na talaga sila magko-commit dito for a while. Hindi yata i-expect ni Dan na meron din punta dito sa tabi niya. Naku, peekaboo! Binaril sa ulo, held hostage, and just before he knows it, he's already out. He's out of the game. Madadagdagan 5, already a 2v3. We're waiting for him to put the spike down with 30 seconds of the clock left. And we are seeing these two members here at the tower area. Expected nila na nandito si Kelly S, but not at the proper position here in terms of crosshair. It's going to be pretty difficult. Wala kayong runner sa kamay niya! Good trade! Nako, si Papi Chulo tumatrabaho na dito. Isa na nga naiwan, pero kailangan na talaga ito ingatan dahil mukhang medyo magiging delikado ito. Para sa kanya, expected niya na nandito ang kumpare natin si Mark, na nandito sa elbow. Pero nako, narinig niya na rin. Good for the combat, and he will be able to dominate that one. Guarding a 3K. Nag-pop off lang naman.
He did it 3 times this game alone. A clutch para kay Papi Chulo. And my goodness. Isolating picks left and right. Talagang making up for what happened para dito kay Ja. Unfortunate para sa Oasis Gaming kasi they had all the sight in their focus. Unfortunate din kasi they had the perfect time to punish yung isa sa mga controllers for Naos Esports. And that one Viper wall would have made all the difference sana. But for the side of Naos, they fell back on one of their most consistent players, and that is Papi Chulo. Making impact 3 rounds alone in this game. Making sure that Naos is still in the running so far sa first half pa lang natin. So close as this game heads on into their last round para sa first half nito. And Papi Chulo has already made contact, especially doon sa B main kung saan ang dami niyang kalaban. Ang dami niyang sikot doon with the Vandals in hand. And he has to be careful, because if he dies early, then that is a huge pillar fallen in the hands of Naos Esports.
You want to fight it? the download pa itong sinaon. And now they're already one more round away from reaching the point na meron dito ang Oasis. But mukhang merong
Cosmic Divide.
masisimula dito si Oasis. Ang Cosmic Divide natin already activated here sa B site natin, which most likely magpakamit. Pero kailangan nila mag-ingat yung isang corner natin. Mukhang walang nagbabantay, never mind. Maganda ang timing ng pagsulit dito ni Kelly S. And that is going to be a really good time for them to execute forward dito sa site natin. But meron pang umisa. Si Jaso Dalisa yung napita sa Japa si Kelly S. Pero they are gonna try to put the spike down already with all of the utilities going on here. May pit, may divide, may seekers. Lahat na pinato nila dito sa A site natin. Pero meron pa rin mapapatumba dito. Maya-maya lang. Pero kailangan talaga nila mag-ingat.
Yeah, and they are all trying to cross on the same angle para kapag napatay yung isa sa loob ng Viper smoke ay may kasama ng pan-trade. Trying to spray through the smoke. Marky gets a really lucky shot kay Tesseract. And they play the 3 versus 3 with all the patience in the world. Gets the headshot as Papi Chulo makes the difference again. But Draxi gets the spray transfer. The Bulldog was more than enough inside the territory of the Vipers. Fifth 5-7. Oasis Gaming held on for their dear life. And they made it work because of their positioning. They expected them kung saan sila lalabas on the pillar. And even though they were sama-sama, hindi siya enough.
Konyo yarn. Pero parang imbes na palagan ng mga magkuya, parang naging who is the better Astra.
Oo,
no?
tama.
Parang hindi na siya, hindi
Yung
na,
Astra yung magkuya.
actually, no? Parang sila na yung, parang sino lang yung better, sino na yung team na merong better Astra, yun na lang yung magiging talunan nila dito for the finals of this concurrent qualifiers. But from what we're seeing here, napaka-impactful ng mga nagiging plays dito ni Draxi. Pero for Papi Chulo, he's been consistent all throughout sa mga rounds na meron dito. Meron mga hiccups, pero ang bilis niya talagang bawi and minsan sumusobra pa.
Yeah.
But we're going to be having our second half already. Let's see kung ano magiging impact nito. Magiging compliant pa rin ba si Naos dito or reactive or passive in terms of their gameplay from what they've been able to accumulate earlier? Or would it be a brand new clean slate?
Oh, ja. Entries onto the side, out from heaven, back down to the site itself. Javi 8K locks it out, makes it a double. Making sure Naos have no entry into the site. Tesseract trapped doon sa ating sandbox. Right click from Wild Oreo, more than enough. And yet again, a similar situation for Papi Chulo. But higher stakes and higher odds on the favor of Oasis this time around. Kaya babalik na lang siya onto the mid side. They overcooked with their attempt at taking A heaven. And with their push towards A, they underestimated the power of Javi 8K and his Sentinel.
Agree. And alam naman din natin na isa pa na yan same kay Dexy is like, pagka teritoryo niya yung A or yung B, kung saan man siya pumunta, kung yung pasukin, mapapahamak lang kayo. Pero this is going to be the attempt of Papi Chulo to put the spike down, get or secure some creds for himself para sa mga later rounds natin. But alam naman natin kung ano ang mag-welcome sa kanya or makakatok sa pinto niya because ang dahil pang mga buhay dito sa Oasis, na blind pa siya, na right click niya, napunta pa siya, tatlo pa ang napatumba niya. But still, Wild Oreo would be able to get him all out. I just dearly didn't expect na ganon kalakas yung Guardian Angel ni Papi Chulo na hanggang ganon, nabuhay pa siya.
Ano yung kinain ni Deco Evangelista ngayon? Kasi mukhang kakaiba yung kinain niya ngayon, mga kaibigan. Almost getting the 4th kill with the classic right click. But Wild Oreo puts a stop to his momentum. And that was all thanks to the defense that they had on A. Javi 8K, left and right with the Ghost.
Yeah.
Talagang the pistol round has proven to be the biggest impact round for their second half so far. Because if Naos Esports were able to take that, if they were able to coordinate the push doon sa ating A side, then they would have overwhelmed tong si Javi 8K. But he was cool under pressure. Ngayon, with Gaming have the buy round, while the Oreo given the responsibility of holding mid while waiting for their own race. Tong si Kalias to coordinate with another hold back outside of that poison orb. Spotted out again by the Spectre, but it is Ja falling to the ground. His consistency has been falling off, especially with the pistol round this time for Oasis. So Naos, they have to play this really slow.
Parang kailangan muna ata nila magpalamig ng bahagya, no? It's already the pressure consuming them na kahit pa paano. I mean, well, hindi naman sobra, but there is already some glimpses or like some hints na that is what's already happening on their team. And so far, Oasis has been able to manage that well. Wala pa napipita sa kanila or wala pang natitrade from their end, and they might opt for our B side. It is still probable for them to commit into this one, lalong-lalo na they've gotten them disadvantage naman in terms of their positions. And yes, they will be able to get
Spike
one, but si
down, B.
Jaxi immediate lead off dito. Medyo delikado sila. Ako, long range battle. He's been able to
left.
make it work out. It's already a
Last player
2v3 and
standing.
this is already all up to Savvy. Kung kanina siyang nagbabantay ngayon, siya naman ang kailangan umatake. Kailangan niyang mag-ingat dito.
Spike
Meron pa rin
planted.
naman siyang cage. It might benefit him, but not so much. Going to gun advantage as
Ooh.
well. Nako, hindi ka na madaplisan doon. Nakagilis
One
ng gun.
enemy
Bagya
remaining.
dito, pero mukhang mapapitong ganyan pa dalawa. And ayun na nga ang kanyang ginawa. Sinimplihan niya lang. He's been able to segregate them cleanly. And yes, it is a 5-9, guys.
That was so close. Since
Right?
if he was given time na bumalik dun sa backside, then they would have had the 2v1 and they would have had the double stack.
They shifted their places at the wrong time.
At yes, exactly. Talagang after the cage, they would have noted na nalalabas na agad tong si Javi 8K because he isolated that one angle. Hindi na niya kailangan tingnan yung kabilang side ng pillar.
Oh, yeah.
Talagang doon na siya tumingin sa may backside on the other side of the default box. So, well, time for Javi 8K. Unfortunate para sa Naos, especially for Nexi. Tsaka kay Papi Chulo, man. I mean, these two controllers very low on the point as well. Sayang na sayang since napaka-low lang din ang guns na meron sila. They had a really good effort into destroying yung economy ng Oasis so far dun sa round na yun. But against all odds, the best gun really won out in the end.
Yeah, I agree. And kung kanina parang malapit na sana yung mga laro natin dito, parang biglang napalitan. Pero ako, si Papi Chulo, may
Nako
napitas
po.
dito. Pero immediate trade dito kay Wild Oreo. Alam natin kung gano'ng kaputi ng mga players natin dito on the side of Oasis. But they're trying to traverse towards the A site natin. Once again, with the toxic walls, which can definitely deny some sorts of information. But the camera...
They're playing into Javi 8K's territory now.
Yeah, yun nga. It's going to be really crucial here. All gun down na rin ang kanilang positionings here. But yun nga lang, it didn't turn out really well for Savvy at that current time. But they've been able to put the spike down here sa A site natin. They're already in control. Two more players
One
here.
enemy
Sa
remaining.
Oasis natin, not for long, while RB put down. And last but not the least, ano ang magagawa ni Marky dito? Meron pa siyang guiding light. Hindi niya naman pwedeng heal yung sarili niya. So this is already the only thing he can work with.
Last enemy
But
taken
he'll
out.
try to opt for the gunplay. And
No
Wits
charges
will
left.
be waiting for
Here.
him.
It would have been a good start for Oasis since
Here.
they put all their heads into one push over B main. Getting themselves yung Vandal na hawak ni Papi Chulo, almost connecting to the second dito, but sayang na sayang. That would have been the second Vandal that he would have dito sa pag-defense nila over towards that A site. But again, the heaven control that they've had dito for Naos Esports, well and done, putting themselves yung map secure na meron sila dito for so
Yeah.
far on the T side itself. Slowly but surely trailing behind dito for Oasis Gaming. You see Papi Chulo being on top of the scoreboard. But sometimes being the top on the scoreboard, it's just not enough. You have to have everybody
Yeah.
on the same page. You have to have Oasis on notice dito. Back on mid just to try to repel any sort of engagement for both of these players on now trying to put some space made over at the mid side. Also on the main position. Oasis Gaming, they're licking their lips. They want to take a push, pero I also like that they're not taking a chance at it since their guns
They're
are
respecting
really
it.
expensive.
Yeah, they're respecting it and they know their value, the value of their resources. They really
They know
have
their
to-
value.
Yeah, they know their worth. They
Their
know their
self-worth.
value. You know what?
Oh.
I'm not gonna waste myself into this type of interaction. I prefer it later.
Wow.
Alam mo naman eh, no? But yes, they might offer our B side here for the side of Naos. And yun nga, I think this is the best time for Oasis to finally try and interact with them. But mukhang medyo nag-ano sila dito na umaatras-atras sila.
Yeah.
They're waiting for the smoke to actually dissipate before executing.
No.
And might be doing some changes here na merong mag-hold ng mid
30
natin just
seconds
in
left.
case na meron silang possibility na ma-flank yung ibang members natin for the side of Oasis once they go into the site. But at the current time, they're taking their time. But mukhang hindi na no longer the case because someone from the backside would be seeing them. Some trades already. Naka, already one for each for the side of Oasis. 10 seconds left. And
10
mukhang hindi pa
seconds
ata nila mapuput yung spike down. No one's gonna be overrating them. But now,
Spike planted.
it is going to be Savvy As the last person here for the side of Oasis, block pa itong heaven area natin. And I feel like hindi siya makakadaan dito. But he's just gonna take his chance here. Just in case na merong umakyat, just in case na merong magpakita. Try to pick off anyone na pwede niyang makasalamuha dito from Naos. But I think that is no longer the case.
They were playing with bits and pieces lamang on the info side for Naos. The only thing that they knew was that one Skydog doon sa loob ng site, but they never thought about kung saan at kung nasaan yung mga utility players for Oasis Gaming, right? They needed to find out where Javi 8K is, and they considered na kung magkasama yung dalawang aggressive players on Oasis Gaming sa isang site, then Javi 8K is not gonna be around mid or B side. So they took a risky chance at taking yung mid side, just preparing after malagay yung smoke from that B main position. Take care of a split push around heaven. That does pull the trigger agad for Naos to take the push on B main. Once that they've had that slow push entirely from B heaven. So great job on recognizing that open flaw. Oasis Gaming relying upon yung kanilang setup, especially with their backside control. I mean, nalaman na agad na Naos na if nobody is holding yung B main, then there is somebody holding like the long angle, and that one was around backside. So kung hindi sila mag-iingay, then they're gonna take the chance to force the mistake themselves.
Actually, di ba? But ngayon ako to yung difference na parang kanina lang parang medyo nakikirapan si Naos.
Parang sa kanina.
Oo, parang style lang kanina. Nice, di ba? Pero ngayon, it is nicer because Naos is taking a step further into getting their points close with Oasis. But mukhang they'll take their time once again. Mukhang medyo nawiwili itong si Naos in terms of their last second executes, no? But it can be an advantage, it can be fluke as well, but nakuha na nila yung kanilang gusto sa A site natin. Napitas na nila dito si Savi, which might be giving them opportunities on which one they should push into. But meron din tayong trade na magagawa dito from Papi Chulo sa entrada ng B site natin. And ngayon, mukhang madadagdagan pa yung mga namamatay dito from the side of Oasis dahil hindi nakal yung waters natin. Meron na agad na uma-apekto dito from the side of Naos, and it's already a 1v3. Kelly S. Ay, hindi na kaya to?
3 kills required
Spike planted.
para sa newcomer on Oasis. They have been showing gracefulness dito sa pag-push, but now Naos, dying in the hands of Kelly S. Ja needed that frag so bad, but Papi Chulo will pick up the pieces for himself. Naos almost fumbling the bag if he was able to get the kill towards the smoke, but it was far too reach dito for the side of Oasis Gaming this time around. I like that they were able to take the default kill, playing for picks, playing for time, and knowing that Oasis Gaming are the ones who are gonna get antsy with their long pushes dito. It started with the ramp position push na. Well, it's not a push. It was more like a hold out for both Tesseract at saka kay Papi Chulo, right? So they punished agad itong si Javi 8K. And then they also spotted out agad yung push again from Draxi. He needed to get the 1-for-1 again. But at this point in time, these 50-50 decisions from Oasis Gaming has been costing them a lot, which is giving Naos Esports like well and beautiful timing from this point on. And if you look at their economy, sobrang change from the past couple of rounds that we've seen from them. It's looking like they're building the amount of back that they need. Even if they lose this next round, then they have 2 more rounds to buy for themselves. If they keep Jarso Dalisai's ultimate in the perfect spot, then it will be a really good post plan for them to work through. But that also means that they need to activate tong si Ja. And although he is doing his job, it's not the job that I'm used to, but it's fine. Kasi Oasis has been doing a lot of really aggressive mistakes too.
Parang kumbaga sa tug of war, parang medyo tumatapak-tapak na sa linya tong si Oasis no? Sa gitna. Medyo nahihirapan na sila dito kung paano nila ma-handle itong si Naos because they're trying something new. They need a different lineup here. They need different positionings. And right now, they try to adjust that by putting 3 people here dito sa A site natin with a potential push or a potential aggressive hold. But mukhang hindi na lang gagawin because ang unang prioritize dito ng ating attackers ay ang heaven natin, and they might shift here towards the mid area.
Oh no, nasa likod lang sila!
No, they're not aware where they are! They might get sandwiched here for the side of Oasis. They really have to take into account that one. But at the same time, giintayan na naman tayo dito, waiting for the right time to strike. Ladies and gentlemen, Draxi sitting pretty lang siya dito sa isang corner just in case na meron mag-push dito sa very first bit natin. But Everyone's doing their minor adjustments in terms of positioning here at mukhang A-site pa rin ang gusto nilang puntahan.
It looks like Naos are putting themselves in a very uncomfortable corner kasi in every entrance that they want to go to right now is a death trap. They push into have the 8K's utility, then it is a very risky spot to play in. If they push themselves doon sa vent all towards that mid side, then they're playing into a crossfire under the Viper's pit.
Yeah.
So the best case scenario for them is if they can isolate the pick doon sa CT siguro, or if they destroy the utility from Javi 8K. Looks like that is what's happening right now. So stopper out, Kalies will lock down tong si Wins before they have an opportunity to plant the spike itself. Ja, 1-for-1 trade kay Marky as Javi 8K plays around his smoke at ginamit na agad para matayin si Tesseract. Pinaray pa nga si Nexi. 2 kills for the Sentinel, and everybody from Naos has crumbled down one by one. The foundations of Naos Esports have crumbled because of the positioning from Javi 8K. They played through their smokes and they played through their own mistakes.
Yan na nga ang problema sa oras na naglapag ka ng smoke. It might be a really good thing kasi it can deny information, but not entirely the best because people from the opposing side can play around with it. And that exactly what Savvy took advantage of. And we are now in advantage here for the side of Oasis. Mukhang nagkaroon tayo ng magandang combination here with the showstopper and the wall. Really great composition there from the side of Oasis. Pero mukhang magkakanta ng mga trade-ups here. Naku, nagpapop na nga tayo dito from the side of Wild Oreo assisted by Marky. And now, 2 more people existing here for the side of Naos. Maganda na sana yung execute, pero hindi pa rin lumapat yung mga follow-throughs nila dito. Dalawa na lang ang naiiwan. They haven't set foot in advancement here. One more further dito sa A-site natin. Hindi na yung nagagawa because mukhang they've been taken aback here from what Oasis just done to their comrades. And they are waiting further dito. Kailangan nilang pakalma, pero paano nila kukunin yung spike? Wala sa kanila. Nasa kampo ng kalaban.
Wala pa silang omen kaya hindi nila matitipihan yan. And they're relying on Nexi to be the one to take that first shot dito. But it is a very tough opponent. Si Marky na full HP pa. Kaya dapat ma-hit ni Nexi yung headshot niya dito. As he peeks on, he hasn't spotted out yung Sky pa lang. Ngayon siya lalaban at ngayon siya mamamatay. It's all on Papi Chulo yet again. The guy that has been clutching all throughout the split map. He puts himself to a very tough position as he fights off the guys doon sa flower box. He isolates the fight and he gets the clutch. Papi Chulo does it again and again and again.
What just happened there? We really thought that it's already an advantage here for the side of Oasis, and just like that, they've been able to end it off like any mishaps na ginawa kanila kanina is never even existed. Diba? Like every single one here, alam nila, bantay sarado ang spike, but he still managed to segregate them wonderfully. Predicted kung sino ang unang magpipik and just eliminated them one by one. Nakapila sila dun, pre.
Si Papi Chulo ang main character ng split game na to.
Siya pala yung main protagonist natin dito. Siya yung MC natin.
Siya yung may plot armor.
Siya yung may plot armor dito. Siya yung Luffy.
Oh, siya yung may mahabang bangs sa lahat ng mga
Walang ano
mangas
dito,
na
no?
nakikita
Walang
natin.
Jujutsu Kaisen na ultimo yung mga main character dito mamamatay. Hindi!
Oo.
Exemption siya. Hindi siya Gojo.
Hindi ko alam kasi
Naku, makaka-relate yung iba nating mga viewers dyan. Maraming mga nagmo-mourn dyan ngayon dahil nawala yung crush ng bayan in terms of anime. But anyways, going back dito sa mga plays natin, ang tindi, pre. Wala akong masabi dun.
Deku Evangelista.
Parang ano lang, no? Parang literal na wala, si Papi Chulo yan eh.
What is going on?
Di ba, no? Like, siya yan eh.
Siya
Anong
yun eh.
magagawa mo? Like, yung clutch niya, yung mga ano, yung mga ginagawa niya kanina pa, yung mga pag-pop ng mga heads niya, yung mga crucial rounds niya, yung clutch capacity niya na napakataas, out of the roof.
An impossible 1v3 one out by Papi Chulo. And again, he becomes the pillar of Naos Esports as he is the guy that has stepped up for the team yet again. Ja playing off of his momentum to try to get himself yung kill as a sentinel ng Oasis Gaming. And it is a good sign kasi now that they have locked down yung A-Heaven, they need to take care of the utility players doon sa Raptor area. Marky Noting yung A main position, holding his nerve, not needing to peek off kasi he doesn't have the best gun for this situation, but he has the off angle. He has the element of surprise. He has given his presence up, and he has given a note of stability siguro dito for Naos. He has known agad an inkling of an info, at ngayon na may trailblazer agad, malalaman nila nandun si Marky. But he still commits his position. Although now, Naos, now they want a different beast that wants Oreo. Judge in hand, but doesn't get the second. Woods able to use himself. They got another dito kay Wild Oreo. Kelly S, Judge out, Draxi, Bulldog out. Almost getting the transfer, but does not convert kay Tesseract, who has the spike and converts back onto the B site itself. Kelly S, the biggest responsibility of his career right now, to hold the two players on Naos as he plays for time, but the pressure is on. The Viper's Pit activated just so that they can have the space to plant the spike, play for time. Nexi trying, navigating, finding, hunting his prey. Kelly S is now reunited with Marky, but with time playing not on their side, they need to hunt down the two players on Naos, and the time is now. Nexi, good shot kay Kelly S. It's all on Marky. They haven't known his position now, and he drops, and he gets himself Tesseract, but not knowing where Nexi is. He needed one shot, and he conquered. 10-10 mga kaibigan. If this was a one-round game kanina, Naos are showing that they are the top dogs right here against Oasis Gaming.
10, guys! Napakalapit ng laban natin ngayon. Napakainit. Hindi lang paso makukuha mo dito. Mga third degree burns na, guys. Wala na, may peklat na may iwan do. Meron ng sugat. And madadala nila to sa mga future qualifiers natin. And this just marks the experience that they've been able to accumulate on this one because wala magkakilala tong dalawang to eh.
Oh.
Alam nila paano nag-ooperate yung isa't isa. And kung meron mga bagay na meron silang gustong i-play off, is yun ang kanila magagawa. And minsan, nape-predict nila kung ano o saan naglalagi mga member natin dito. Pero ngayon, mid-control pa rin ang kanilang punteriya for the side of Naos. And they might opt for our B-site once again. Maganda ang kanilang nakuha dito and mukhang gusto nilang ituloy-tuloy yon. Lalong-lalo na as long as it works, syempre, you should stick to it.
Yeah. Today's smoke don't fix it, right? For now, esports, it's always about that mid-control. Try to start up again yung aggression for their T-side. Oasis, getting isolated, especially yung kanilang Sentinel, yung isa sa mga pinakauna namamatay. Doesn't make now slow down, and it doesn't help at all. Ja, already pushing him over at that B7 possession. Not noting Kalies almost denies him with the all. Pero si Marky ang mismo magiging difference maker. Trying to hold doon sa ating pillar position. Oasis Gaming relying on him, but Ja just flies from the sky, jet from above. Marky has been caught off guard, and they have played this to perfection. 2 versus 2. Tesseract planting the spike na agad. Oasis forced on in towards the heaven position. The retake is on para sa Oasis as they fight off against Ja. Almost converts to a 4K, but Tesseract, the welcome guy, has lost the clutch against Javi. 8K, 11-10. It was so close for now, as it was almost a very coordinated play. But against all odds, the retake was in favor of Oasis Gaming.
Oh my! Yun yung tipo ng mga plays na alam mo kung saan nagsimula, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh, hindi
like,
na.
you know what? It's just all up to Sabi, and he really did what he can on that one. Actually, alam mo, ako si Marky, alam mo yun, magkaka-heart attack ako. Sabihin mo, galing ba naman sa taas mo yung tao?
Diba?
Anyway, next pick. But,
Valorant horror game.
parang horror game na siya. Ako'y kinabahan para sa kanya. But, yeah, it is still an advantage for the side of Oasis here.
Checking the situation.
Parang nagpapalitan lang dito. Hindi lang yung trade-offs yung meron dito. May trade-offs din in terms of the scores.
Yeah.
Because that is how close it is. That is how they are familiar with each other. And that is how much they really want to advance against each other. And they might opt for the same thing once again, but they've done some minor changes here for the side of Oasis na dalawa na ang nakaabang dito sa Bukana.
Sa B-main, para malabanan agad ang core ng NAOS Esports. If it was the isolation picks for the start of their momentum shift, ngayon,
Oh.
it is coordination for Oasis. Look at that. Up down position, a combo set up agad, but Marky does not hit the shot. A double for Ja, but while Oreo denies yung showstopper, Wits has the perfect timing already from the split. He does lock down a double kill yet again para sa IGL ng Oasis. And it's all yet again para sa NAOS. So, excuse me. As for
Spike
Javi
planted.
8K, all that he can do is take 3 picks dito. Required out from the Sentinel. The hero of Collegiate and the chosen one para sa Oasis Gaming, but so many angles to hold, so many things to check, and a smoke to prevent any sort of long-range gunfight for Javi 8K is just insult to injury talaga.
Ano ang gagawin ni Savi dito? He's been pinned down. He got no other choice but to say, which is a good decision of his. But at the same time, talaga nasabi mo, may plot armor yung isi.
Diba?
May ano, no? May agimat.
May agimat.
May buff.
Tas tinaransfer niya.
Pagka wala, meron siya ano, yung iba niyang mga kumpare nandyan para umasis.
Para siyang si Naruto. Tapos ano, yung si Witsi Sakura. You know?
Si Sasuke!
Si Sasuke!
Naruto! Ewan ko, ang napaka-clean lang talaga na maglatag ng plano nito ni Naos.
Yeah.
No? Kung kanina, sila yung naapektuhan ng pressure natin, ngayon, si Oasis yung at risk. Because Naos tried or already been able to put themselves back together from what they've been able to accumulate from the previous rounds. Siyempre, nandiyan na rin yung mga boosts natin from the clutches and the plays na nagawa nila ng maganda kanina. Well, of course, with a lot of ultimates being available from both sides right now, we got the Showstopper, we got the Viper Spit. Let's see if there will be something that's gonna be put out here right now, lalo na that both of these teams want to gain a point. Yun nga lang, Showstopper natin already been activated dito kay Ja, pero walang nakatambay dito sa mga perimeters ng B-site natin. Medyo malalayo sila. And ngayon lang sila nag-rotate. Pero nako, mukhang merong mag-welcome, hello, goodbye dito sa ramen area natin. Merong makakamusta dito si Tetsurak at mapapatumba at laid off dito ni Marky. And yes, 2 people at the flag. Never mind, they're going back to the B tower because that is better for them. Pero nako, si Kelly, hindi in-expect tumatakbo. Saan ka pupunta? Kumpari ko, pero ngayon, 2v3 na, nagiging kalamangan dito ng Naos. Seekers natin, napindan mga members natin dito from Naos, but still, grabe, siya na naman ang naiwan. Hindi sapat yun para sa kanila. It's going to be a match point here for the side of Naos after such a long journey. Sa kanila pa rin ang lamang.
They were the ones na nabugbog nung una, pero katulad ng lahat ng bida sa anime, pagkatapos mo mabugbog ng ganong katagal, ay lalakas sila bigla.
Patay ka na!
Match point para sa Naos Esports, mga kaibigan. And it all started with Papi Chulo and the patience as well from every single player on Naos. Tesseract being the guy, the nuisance for the team, cutting off again yung kanilang man count. And for Oasis Gaming, spending so much time para makuha agad yung mga utility players has been their undoing. Naos Esports converting back onto their post plants. And at this point, they're looking desperate. Ultimate out towards that mid side, looking to see if they can get a pick off with the spray through the smoke. But for Naos Esports, again, it is about time, patience, picking off again the individuals from Oasis, trying to make a mistake, but this time, they are putting a gamble. Katulad ng gamble stack na ginawa nila kanina, doon sa tatlong A site, doon sa hold nila, ngayon, sa mid side naman sila nag-gamble ng ultimate. But for Javi 8K, this is a new position for him. All throughout this defending round, he has always been stacking on the A site. This is the first time that we've seen him try to stack on B. The lone sentinel, heralded up by Oasis Gaming. Gaxi trying to make some space, helping out yung likod nitong si Marky. But because of that short notice, that is when they pop the Seekers, try to find where everybody is, the majority of Oasis stack. But this time, Jars to Dalisay has held first blood, and they even stack up yung ulti doon sa loob ng D-Heaven para labanan ang lahat ng anchors for Oasis Gaming. They push themselves on B main. The only guy that has been there has been Wits, and he is the one solo holding for the team para sa Naos, para makapasok sila ng site at para ma-plant nila ang spike.
Ang ganda rin ng paglapag niya ng ice wall dito. Very much beneficial for them. Pero nako, nagkaroon ng maraming kaganapan dito sa B-site natin. Lahat nagtutumbahan na. Darawanan na nga naiwan dito sa bawat kampo. Cosmic divide natin. Trying to divide them, but not entirely the case. Nagpapatintera sila dito. Ginagawa nilang Chinese garter tong labanan natin ngayon. Nako, dalawa sisilat sa'yo. At ayan na! May nanalo na! Meron ng paborito si Mama! Meron ng better Astra! And that is going to be Naos winning our first online qualifiers, everyone! What a great time to start our online qualifiers. Sila na talaga.
Finally! Natapos na ang chapter ng Oasis versus Naos ngayon sa qualifier at naisolidify na agad kung sino ang mananalo dito sa historya ng laban na ito. Naos heralding another win, and it is all from good determination and resilience from the squad. They have been down 4 rounds in a row. But against all odds, against all the clutches in the world, against all expectations, it has been Papi Chulo that got them out every single time.
Grabe, no? Parang ano na, no? Uy, parang, kumbaga sa ginajuggle niya lahat, eh, no?
Yeah.
Uy, may natumba. Sige, titrade kita. Uy, parang ano, opening dito. Sige, lalagyan ko ng smoke yan. Uy, hala, may nagtatry ng disfuse ng spike. O, sige, lagyan ko ng gravity ball.
1v3 ba? I got you, bro.
Di ba, parang lahat na, no? Itabi nyo, ako na literal. Strong independent man.
Oo. Strong independent kuya.
Strong independent kuya. Literal,
Oo.
di ba? He's the breadwinner. He's the stand as the father, di ba? The
Yeah.
vibes, no?
The father.
So, as a father.
Kaya pala Papi Chulo eh.
Now, so, oo nga, literal. Papachulo na siya.
Papa Chulo.
Hindi na siya papi.
So nag-upgrade siya from kuya to
Kuya
papa.
to papa. Wow! Diba?
Alright,
Pero
alright.
solid, guys. Napakatindi
Solid.
ng mga laban natin ngayon for today. And kung kanina nakita natin kung gaano one-sided, kung gaano one-sided yung mga laban natin from earlier rounds is our matches. Ngayon nakita natin kung gaano siya ka-close. Like, literal lang. Literal na ganito, guys. Literal na ganito.
Actually, ito just to point out, that was definitely not a very short game at all to what we've been very
Gugulat ako pag
used
sinabi
to.
mong,
Oo, di ba?
ganun lang pali.
Hindi siya easy at all. Talagang,
Matatawa ako pagka merong banter sa kanila ng GGEC sa
ayun lang! And that's the thing,
Diba?
yun yung gusto ko sa mga
Parang
online
ang funny
qualifiers
nun.
natin. You know? Everybody just has a good time. Everybody's focusing on their
Yeah.
own game. And the resiliency from Naos Esports has shown a lot of prowess dito. Pero para sa Oasis Gaming, now this is a squad that I've always been enjoying watching ever since I started
sobra.
as a caster. Talagang, they have
Always.
shown greatness ngayon. They were losing, a couple of rounds, and they threw away like a couple of like 1v3s dito. Pero
True.
against all odds, they have shown that they are a formidable opponent, and sana talaga makita natin sa mga susunod na qualifiers.
Matik
Like
yan.
look at all the statistics that we've had. Marky
Yeah.
really stable on the sky. He matured from being one of the formidable duelists. Tas ngayon, siya na yung isa mga flex players ng Oasis Gaming. Really nice story for him. Tapos si Draxi, he has been matured as one of like the best
Parang mga
IGLs
mga-
para sa team na to.
Mga individual glow-ups
Yeah,
nila.
at saka si
Like,
Kalies, and I'm very happy to see
Yeah.
Kalies thrive in this sort of environment. But for now, esports, their rise to the top is unquestionable, and their story is not over. Makikita natin
Yeah.
sila sa group stages ng Predator League, pero hindi magtatapos ang storya ng lahat ng nagsumali dito sa qualifiers natin dahil meron pa tayo mga susunod bukas at saka next week, mga kaibigan. Kaya pwede pa kayo mag-register sa susunod na laban bukas. At yung mga viewers natin, check nyo lang ang official Facebook page ng Predator Gaming para makasali din kayo sa laban at makakasali din kayo sa chance na manalo kayo ng 5,000 pesos sa kada qualifier natin at magkaroon kayo ng seat in the group stages itself. Ano ba yung expectations natin sa susunod na qualifier mo? Bukas nga pala.
Well, syempre, mas matindi ang laban.
Okay.
Kung kaya nakita natin kung gaano katindi yung tapatan ng Oasis at Naos, malay mo may iba pang mga from the local scene, yung mga behemoths of the local scene na magpakita tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hindi natin sigurado, lalong-lalo na kung nakaantabay kayo sa Predator Gaming page natin, nakalatag dun lahat ng mga participants natin for
Yeah.
qualifiers. And I am sure na merong magtatapat dyan and might be more than what
Yeah.
we can see right now. Nako, they can set the bar higher. It might be really difficult. Pero syempre, abangers lang kayo dyan at maraming salamat sa mga nakipagkulitan at nagmerienda kasama natin.
Oo.
Kayo lang pala yung nagmerienda, pero ano mo yun, sumambay dito sa live natin for
Shoutout
today.
nga pala kay Tita May. Shoutout sa mga jowa at sa mga asawa
Mga bebe
ng mga
buffs.
nanood, yung mga nagbigay ng bebe buff dito,
Yeah.
yung mga viewers natin na aspiring pro player or you just
Nagbigay
somebody who
ng
enjoys
plot
esports.
armor ni Papi
Tama.
Chulo.
Oo, yung nagbigay ng spirit sa spirit bomb ni Papi Chulo. I went from Naruto to Dragon Ball real quick.
Isang daang porsyentong lakas.
Yan nga eh. Well, it has been one heck of a story dito mga kaibigan. This qualifier has been fun to watch and the best part is that it is not the last one that we have.
Yeah.
Stay tuned tomorrow for more exciting Valorant action dito sa Predator League. Ako nga pala si Ramon, kasama ko si Mochi, and don't forget that no matter the results, win or lose, always stand proud. We will see you guys tomorrow for the next episode of Predator League. But before that, we would like to thank our sponsors, Predator Gaming, Intel, and Planet 9. We'll see you tomorrow for more Predator League.
Last player standing. Last player standing. Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
I've got your trail.
One enemy remaining.
No more Viper. Seek them out.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Locked well.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Thrifty.
Headshot.
One enemy remaining.
Distant. Taken out.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Message sent.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
Satchel out. Hawk out.
One enemy remaining.
Soul shot.
One enemy remaining.
I've got your trail.
30
There's
seconds
another.
left. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Seconds. One enemy remaining. Last player standing.